All right, guys, what's going on? Diddy is currently in court. He is sitting between his lawyer Jason Driscoll and Brian Steele, waiting for the judge. 4 minutes ago, all rise. Clerk appearances: Alexander Shapiro with us. Mark Garagos. So she said, "Sorry, Tenny Garagos." Some laughed in the courtroom. Judge Subramanian, you don't have to take a full 15 minutes. If you said all you need, please proceed. Please proceed and give me what you need. U.S. Attorney, we point you to U.S. versus Kelly. That's R. Kelly. Second Circuit, 2025, 128F. Dot fourth, 387. That's R. Kelly's case, which stands that Combs' Rule 29 arguments had to have been raised pre-trial. They've waived. This is on Judge First Q. Any case that has deemed a defendant's Rule 29 argument waived or forfeited. What's up, guys? Diddy is currently in court. We know this is a very important hearing for him, which is setting it up for next week. Like I said, God willing, I'll be there. If not, I will be live just like this if I can't make it physically in court. For today, I wanted to go there today, but physically I couldn't make it. So if those witnessed my live chat last night, you know exactly what was going on with me. Yeah, you know this not good. They're citing R. Kelly's case here, man. That's the only case they could cite, guys, is R. Kelly. Because if what are you gonna do? Cite Jack Johnson? President Trump pardoned him. What other case you're gonna what other case are you gonna cite here? Thank you, Rachel. I don't know, man. It's some crazy stuff, man. It just happened all of a sudden. The doctor was like, "You just need time to rest." I'm like, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "It's believe it or not." He said, "I've seen your situation every day." He said it's a nerve thing. But yeah. Um, so guys, they're citing R. Kelly's case, man. They're citing R. Kelly's case. And I knew they were gonna do that. I knew they were gonna cite his case. Because I'm like, what other case are they gonna cite? Because what's his name didn't make it to trial. Remember, some say he unalived himself, some say he didn't. Some say people unalived him, Epstein. Because he would have been charged with the Mann Act as well. I have a story for you after this is over with, and it's involving Epstein. I don't even know if I should say it here. You know how, well, I'll tell you after this. Let's get an update. Let's see what's happening here. So the judge said, let's separate out the jury instructions. You're saying that the defendant constitutional arguments should have been made at Rule 12 stage? U.S. Attorney Johnson said that's correct. Judge said the defense is making making an as applied argument that they can do it on Rule 29. And it's another person I also follow as well. If you guys want to know who I'm following on X account, it's Inner City Press, by the way. Just type in Inner City Press on X account. You can follow it right along. He's in court right now. I'm also following, you can also follow somebody named Lawyered Up. That person said, I think the United States versus Dennis. undercuts the government's argument on waiver. So what they're trying to say is they waive Rule 29 early on. Interesting. Attorney Johnson, I want to push back on their reading of the cases. In Dennis, the defendant was arguing that he couldn't be tried without infringing on the First Amendment. The parties agreed it was only about sufficiency, judge, but the court went right past the waiver. So we're just reading the updates right now. You said R. Kelly cases in comparison. To be honest with you though, and I'm surprised at this, I haven't really followed R. Kelly's case to compare the two. I really haven't. And the crazy thing is, I guess I don't know, I wasn't in the state at the particular time. I was down south when R. Kelly case was going on. Maybe that's why. Maybe if I was up here, maybe I would have attended the trial, maybe. But yeah, man, that case didn't get a lot of fanfare. You would have thought it did. It wasn't too many content creators at his trial. There's a few out there today, um, content creators, and there's gonna be. You think it was a circus then? Wait till sentencing. It's really gonna be a circus outside. I'm just telling y'all this. And even if I got to use a cane, I'm gonna get myself down there, y'all. I'm not playing with you. So either that or a wheelchair, one or the other. I need one of them motor scooters, actually. I need one of those motor scooters, man. No, I don't need one. It's just let me see. So let me just tell you who's at the defense table. Alexander Shapiro, um, Xavier Donaldson, Nicole Westmoreland, Brian Steele, Mark Agnifilo, Tenny Garagos. The same. Everybody's there. Okay, this is as of 19 seconds ago. Okay, where is it? Okay, okay. Judge, Ms. Shapiro, can you address these arguments? Combs lawyer Shapiro, the Dennis case is on point. The court made clear and statutory construction arguments can be raised under Rule 29. Also, the Lopez case, I argued it. Now, I just want to say this about Alexandra Shapiro. She's very thorough. Everybody in that court building knows her. So he has some really well-respected attorneys sitting at that table. I want to say something real quick while we're waiting for the next update. I was listening to TMZ what the guy was saying because he was like, well, it doesn't matter all this. The judge can still sentence him to the max. Hey, Sharice, what's up, Max? Late show champions. What's up, Scoop? What's up, God? Rachel Jones, Diddy Love, what's going on, Love? Um, Steven, C Rob. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see what we got. Okay, there we're waiting for the next update. What the guy from TMZ was saying was he was like, he doesn't think that Diddy is going to be sentenced to the max, you know. But he said if he's out for, you know, if the judge is out to do that, he said if he has aspirations on going into the appellate, it might hurt his aspirations on moving up. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Long time no see. Ressa, how you doing? From Plainfield, Illinois, in the house. Welcome. Good morning. Tammy C. What's up, Tammy C? Haven't seen you in a minute. Motivate. What is it? Motivation at hand. What's going on? How you been, Linda? How you been, Tammy? We just sitting here waiting for the next update. I'm not physically at the courtroom. I am on bed rest. I have what you call a bad back, and I'm on bed rest. So, let me see. I think I might be at the age where if you sneeze too hard, you you know, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. Did I sneeze too hard? A bad back, Tammy. I can't walk. I mean, I can walk, but I need assistance. And I had an MRI done. The doctor said, you don't need surgery. You just need rest. I said, all right, well, you said I just need rest. He said, yeah. Okay, I'm just waiting. Yeah, Harvey Levin that I was listening to. No, no physiotherapy, right? Not yet. You said you know about the back going after a sneeze. It's crazy. You ever had that back pain to where you respect people walking freely? That's something we take for granted, to walk without pain. That's a I'd rather have that than money. I'm telling you that. I'd rather have no money and no back pain. Let's see what we have here. I never thought I was like, man, I just really have to do more core. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Because you know, I had an moment. Because when it happened, you know how you bend over and hold your back. I said, "Oh shoot, uh-oh, okay, uh-oh, it's going down to my feet. I don't did something." Damn, these updates is kind of weird here. Inner City Press. Hold on. Okay, there's no updates after. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's the thread. Let me see Lawyered Up what they have. Yeah, Miss Shapiro, she said, I've already argued this already. So what they're gonna do is they already setting it up for his appeal. Just to let you guys know. I think they're suspecting that he's gonna get some time here. Now, if they have it their way, he will get 14 months. Now, why is that? Because he's already served like 13 already. Okay. So if he get 14 months, the rest of it just be on supervised release at his house for a month. And that's it. That's what they're asking for. Um, the prosecutors, what did they say? 96 months or something like that? But the judge could go far above that. Well, he can't go far above it. It's 10 years maximum on each count. He can actually do that. He can actually do that. Um, will he do that? I don't think so. But I remember he keeps saying that he's a threat to the society. So that's all I keep hearing. And I go back for a second. I'm gonna check for update in a second. But let me tell you this. The last time I was in court is when the verdict came out. Well, after the verdict came out, I was sitting there because I remember, let me just give you all the backstory if you didn't know. Okay, let's see. Somebody text me an update. Well, let's see. What is this? Let's see. So what happened was on the day of what is this? Oh, okay. JLR has a feed outside the courtroom. Yeah, okay. Let me just say. So what happened was when the verdict came back, the judge said everybody come back at 2 p.m. All right, let's see if there's an update here somewhere. 16. They could be having a. Okay, here we go. I found something here. The judge said, let's put the financial motive to the side. Why wouldn't Mr. Combs? This is what the judge is saying, guys. Let's put the financial motive to the side. Why wouldn't Mr. Combs be liable under a willfully causing theory? Miss Ventura or Jane furnished the payment for the escorts, but Mr. Combs still had the relevant intent, no? Now, Shapiro said no, many states find that prostitution is only when A pays B for sex with A. Here the government is trying to get around it, but the cases where people watch others have sex is not prostitution. Yeah, that's voyeurism. That's not prostitution. That's voyeurism. He did not engage with the escorts. He was watching. That's voyeurism. And that's not, I don't think that's illegal to be a voyeur. All right. So that's just me. Um, it says, but the cases where people watch others have sex is not prostitution. The actus rus in the Mann Act is transportation. Yeah, Shapiro's getting in her bag right now. She's in her bag, folks. Okay. Shapiro also said commercial. See, she said commercial voyeurism is not prostitution. A number of states say there's the Paulino case in New York and Georgia case. I remember that case. The government had alleged that a private residence had been used for prostitution, but the court said no, it was voyeurism. So in that case, what happened was they tried to say it was prostitution, but he didn't even touch the prostitutes. Okay. At all. He just sat and watched. And sometime he was in another room. They didn't even see him. So did he engage in prostitution or not? Yes or no? Because there is a such thing as voyeurism. It's been around before I was even born. They have a whole market for that. They have clubs for that. They have, and here I'm gonna be honest with you. From listening to this case, it's kind of getting old, man. At this point, to be honest with you. Okay, he's a voyeur. You know what he should do if he get off? Think to start a voyeurism company. He will make millions. Let me tell you something right now. He will literally put the industry out of, if like OnlyFans and start his own company, he will make millions. Millions. He will make millions. Just telling you this. It's a whole thing. Yeah, ain't nobody judging on that. But the problem is, why are we sitting up in court though? Why is he still sitting up in court? I don't know, but I'm not a lawyer. So listen, very good argument. Lawyered up said also prostitution is not defined in the Mann Act. So did the defendant have notice that watching two people have sex or paying for two people to have sex is prostitution? Man, okay, let's see what Combs said, Shapiro. The statute originally had a section about debauchery, which was exercised later. The Supreme Court reversed a Seventh Circuit holding that had affirmed a conviction where the defendant did not have commercial motive. Okay. That was Combs' lawyer responding. What do you guys think, in your opinion? I don't know. What do you guys think? Did he engage in prostitution or was it voyeurism? Because if you say that he engaged in voyeurism, he's getting out today. And the sentence is done. They might as well throw those charges out or give him a new trial. I would say give him a new trial and let him go today. If that's the case. They're trying to keep him because he was convicted on those two charges and the judge wants to sentence him. Okay, you think they are reaching, Tammy? Let me see. He was found guilty of prostitution. The contracts tell me it was prostitution. So you think it was prostitution? Blank Faces Live. Tam, you say you think they're reaching. All right. So look, we're gonna find out pretty soon how the judge rule on this. Okay, let's see if we have an update. I'm gonna get back to what y'all saying. Give me a second. So Alexandra Shapiro said traveling interstate for a woman being a mistress or a concubine. The judge said the Cleveland case said polygamy met with immoral purposes. See, here's the thing. He's using that old law, guys. He's using that old law. He said, but it said met with immoral purpose, man. Shapiro, respectfully, I disagree. There was a late 19th century case about immigration. Let me read that again. So Alexandra Shapiro said traveling interstate for a woman being a mistress or a concubine. The judge in the Cleveland case said polygamy met with immoral purposes. Test. Shapiro said, respectfully, I disagree. There was a late 19th century case about immigrant guys. This ain't looking good for him. For the judge that had said that. Yeah, it don't look good. So here now, Shapiro said traveling interstate for a woman being a mistress or concubine. The judge said Cleveland case said polygamy met with a more. Okay. Yeah, he trying to come for his neck, guys. For sure. I mean, basically, guys, they're gonna set this up for the appeal. Do I think he can win in the appeal? For sure. I think so. This wasn't prostitution. In fact, it wasn't, it was something, it wasn't prostitution, put it that way. And also Diddy was not a pimp. He was somewhat of a John, actually. But it was different because obviously he bankrolled the situation, right? But it was for him just to look. Now, what's interesting about this is Diddy at one point started calling these acts debauchery nights, right? Debauchery is in the statute. Did he know that? I don't know if he know that or that was just a huge coincidence. Debauchery is in the statute, and he used to call them debauchery nights. So, or wild king nights or freak offs, things like that, or whatever he wanted to call them. That's not the whatever here, but so I'm interested. This is like kind of like I don't know. It's like a prequel to what's going to happen next week. I don't know. And you all know that Young Miami wrote a letter. A few other people as well. I'm not sure if Cassie's going to show up for the sentencing because usually to read victim impact statements, sometimes they show up in person or they have the attorneys read them. Okay, so I don't know if she's going to show up. I don't know if Jane Doe is going to show up. I don't know if the other guy is going to show up. We'll see. But that all affects the judge's decision here. All right, let's see. Let's see. We have an update now. We got to have one. Wow, I'm just in time, 7 seconds. So, Shapiro, all of the federal constitutional law that develop around privacy or sexual relations, Judge Miss Foster and U.S. Attorney Foster, this case is different. That there was a person in a booth watching people have sex. Combs is challenging the term prostitution. Yeah, he's challenging it. I mean, some people say it was, some people say it wasn't. So that's the case. Was this prostitution? If it wasn't prostitution, he has to go. You gotta let him go. Now, some people could say technically it was because look, you gotta pay the guys to do this. They're not gonna do it for free. You know, let me pay them, let me watch. Now, see the US attorneys, they're not really getting deep into this. They're not. I don't know, maybe they feel like they don't have to. Like what they could have said, well, listen, okay, I hear what they saying. They saying it's not prostitution, right? But they need to get down and dirty with it. You know what should have to say? Hey, listen, okay, you saying it's not prostitution, correct? Correct, Judge? Is that what they're arguing? Yes, Mr. Max, that's what they're arguing. Okay, well, was there money exchange? Yes. Okay. Was there money exchange for sex? Yes. Okay, so he's saying that even though money was exchanged for sex, he didn't participate. That's what he's saying. But didn't we have testimony that he took her into the other room and did some things? Yes. Okay, that's prostitution. They're not saying that. They're not going that deep. I don't know what I know, but I'm just saying they're not even, they're like whatever at this point. So if they're like whatever at this point, then the lawyers, yeah, his lawyer should go all the way with this. Like, try to really fight here today because it could be a possibility that he can come home next week. They got to really fight this. You said this is a case, then Cassie should have been charged the same thing. But see, she gave her testimony. Now, it was never said that she received the immunity deal. Hey, Sheila, how you doing? Okay, so the Diddy docket, piece of the Diddy docket, if you're here. Shout out to the Diddy docket. So Diddy docket posted something here by definition of prostitution. He went to the Cornell Legal Wex Legal Dictionary. So The definition: prostitution involving engaging, agreeing, or offering to engage in sexual conduct with a person in return for a fee. Now, when you break that down, when it says engage in sexual conduct, it doesn't have to be physical. That's what they're saying in this here. Engage in sexual conduct. Was he engaging in any kind of sexual conduct? He wasn't on video. It's the only thing we can he wasn't on video. I don't think the jury saw that. But was he sitting there, pleasuring himself? That's sexual conduct. Shout out to the Diddy docket. Yeah, so but I would say that we'll see. I think this will go either way next week or today. Actually, no, it's the judge. Yeah, I don't know. You have to wait and see. I can't call this one. You said, what about the prostitutes? Well, they never referred to themselves as prostitutes. They were entertainers, and I forget what they were saying. So, U.S. Attorney Foster here, the woman helped arrange the transportation of the escorts for the defendant, is aiding and abetting. Then the judge said, you're saying that they had the intent, they paid the money, they had the sex, that is, willfully caused. Combs Shapiro said, may I respond? See? All right, let's wait for her to respond. Let's see what they say. Because the U.S. attorney said here the woman helped arrange the transportation of the escorts. She's referring to them as escorts, not entertainers. For the defendant, she said that she arranged for these escorts for the defendant. It's aiding and abetting, judge. So you're saying they had the intent. You hear this? He said, so you're saying they had the intent. They is Diddy and Cassie. They had the intent. They paid the money. They had the sex. That is willfully caused. Then Combs Shapiro, like, oh, wait a minute. Said, may I respond? Oh boy, guys. God, this is getting crazy. And the judge just said, I'll give you time at closing. Miss Slavic, so a U.S. Attorney Slavic, the record does not show that every time an escort traveled and had sex, that the sex acts was filmed. They only said routinely filmed. He frequently filmed freak-offs or hotel nights, but not all the time. Oh my God. So they putting it out there in the judge's head that they didn't film all their freak-offs, not all the time. So it's possible that he could engage. Let me just put that in your cranium, Judge. They didn't film these hotel nights or whatever all the time. They didn't film it. every now and then. Then the judge might say to himself, like, okay, yeah, it might have been every now and then they filmed it because we only had 5 videos to look at in court after all these years. Interesting. All right. Okay. So Attorney Slavic. Hey, thank you. Hey, Firefly, what's going on? Thank you for the donation. Hold on, let me. Um, what's going on, Firefly? Just reading the donates. Thank you again. Um, this is what they responded, Attorney Slavic. The explicit videos chart shows that there was travel for sex, but sometimes there were no videos recovered for those encounters. We can pull up the exhibits. The judge, you argue that they were filmed, wouldn't it matter? Attorney Slavic said, wait, you argue that even if they were even though I guess it's a typo, you argue that even if they were filmed, it wouldn't matter. What they meant was to say, you argue that even if they didn't film it, it wouldn't matter. Attorney Slavic said, right. Attorney Slavic, the Mann Act criminalizes travel for prostitution, not filming sex. The test for symbolic speech is whether there is a intent to convey meaning. The transportation conveys no message, so there is no symbolic speech here. Okay, wait a minute. If his lawyers, I would say, listen, he didn't engage in prostitution, Judge. Okay, he didn't engage. He was a voyeur. So the judge is going to have to determine, is voyeurism engaging in sex? Yes or no? If so, then voyeurism could be illegal. So if you pay for an escort, you just want to watch, right? That's illegal then, right? I don't know. It's a weird thing, you know what I'm saying? I must say, but some people are into this lifestyle. Um, but also they're saying crossing state lines for the purposes of, I don't know, man. It's not. So Attorney Slavic and O'Brien, the protected symbolic speech was the burning to draft cards. Here, transportation is not symbolic speech. Judge, if a movie producer, oh, watch what the judge say. If a movie producer is making pornographic films, are you saying the First Amendment is not implicated? Attorney, a closer call. In the other case cited, the producer said when they transport it, we'll be filming a movie. Here, he only intended the individual to engage in prostitution. The defendant here was not an amateur porn producer. Wow. So maybe he need to say, like, look, man, we filmed this and we filmed all the sessions. But only thing they had in court was 5 videos. But then US attorney is their argument is he didn't film them all the time. See, they putting that in there. He didn't film this all the time. It's every now and then they filmed it. Because I'm like, what's up with the pornographic people? Should they be in trouble right now? They don't always have sex with the entertainers. They sit and watch and direct. That's still like, well, I don't know. That's not the same thing, actually. Technically, it's not. It's not voyeurism because you're actually directing it and you want to make a profit off of, you want to put some good product together. So I don't know. People versus Larry Flint. I remember that case. Hustler. Um. Okay, here we go. The judge. If we get to O'Brien, what is the important governmental interest? Attorney Slavic. This is substantial governmental interest in regulating prostitution. The court declines to apply O'Brien because that act had nothing to do with speech. Oh my God. All he had to do was go just get a film license. But he wasn't thinking that though. Let me go get a film license. Nah, he wasn't thinking that. This is something he wanted to keep private. What's up, Truth? What's up, Kit Kat? Wow. Okay, so let's see what they're saying now. Attorney Slavic, Justice Souter, in his dissent, said he would have applied O'Brien, but even he agreed that regulating prostitution is a important governmental interest. On laws against nude dancing, court finds secondary impacts important. Peace, peace, peace. It says plus the women involved who wanted to have schmecks paid the men, not Puff. He was just watching. That's what his attorneys are saying right now. True, he wasn't participating. He was being a voyeur. That's not. So they trying to, you know what I mean. That's what they're arguing. You said, what is he? Liz, is that you? You said Puff got a bottle of Just for Men in commissary. No, that picture is AI. The picture is AI. Everybody knows that. That's AI. I should have mentioned that in the beginning. It's an AI picture. No, his hair is still gray. I messed the picture up. I should have made his hair gray. So that's on me. That's what I need, some Just for Men. But all right, let's see what we have. Okay, Attorney Slavic. There are reasons to regulate prostitution. See erotic service provider. They provided the case about a California prostitution law is to prevent violence against women and for health. All 50 states regulate prostitution to different degrees. I thought that was you. Okay, I thought so. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, like that got to be Liz in the comments. I knew it was. Let me see. Are you at work? What time is it? You at work? Let's see. Don't get caught. Don't get caught on here. No, I'm just kidding. Let me see. All right, let's look for an update. Okay, there was no more updates after that. Okay, I just wait. So what do you think, Lopez? Do you think he engaged in prostitution or what? Or you think he's being a voyeur? That's it. I think it's a good argument because I don't know. I don't know how you take this. Some people say no, Max is a reach. I don't know. I'm really confused. But they're saying that, you know, he paid, even though they paid, but it was through him. You said, in my opinion, if we decriminalize prostitution, it would be less dangerous. I think it'll be less dangerous for the women, for sure. When I was in LA that time, I went by Figueroa and I ran into a pimp. I don't know if I told you that. I think I told you, but you don't remember. I ran into one. And he wasn't really talking to me, but I was ear hustling. I was sitting out in the parking lot. Like, because he was saying these women out here, I'm not sweating them. He said, because they're acting up, they're not wanting to try to choose a pimp today. And the guy, he wasn't a pimp. He said to him, do they really need you though? In this technological age we're in, do they really need you? He was like, of course they need us. The game, he said, it's the game. They need us, you know? So, but yeah, I agree with you to be less dangerous. But hey, Andrea. Okay, here we go. Attorney Slavic. Federal interest kicks in for transportation interstate or internationally. The Barnes case found that requiring parties for dancing was okay. The judge, Ms. Shapiro, on the First Amendment, Cone Shapiro, it was filmed the majority of the time. See, she had to say that it was filmed the majority of the time because they're trying to say it wasn't filmed all the time. They were making it seem like this is only once in a blue moon they film these acts. Well, my point was when I was listening to that conversation, the guy, I kind of walked in on that conversation. I don't know how it started, but I know he was saying, well, why do they need you? Because if they kind of make it legal, they really not going to need you. Like they don't need you. And he was trying to say they do. Like you said, rest in peace, Sinful to P. Look at Liz. Shout out. Yes, rest in peace to Sinful to P, man. Philip Gilmore. Um, Damn, man. You know what's crazy about that, man? I can't believe he gone, yo. I was on his live chat that late night because some nights I can't sleep and he'll be up late night. And as soon as he said he was signing off, that was the last time. I was on his last ever live before he passed away. Crazy. Miss Shapiro said, "This is Combs' lawyer. Just because the footage wasn't found, it doesn't matter. The U.S. has ignored our second First Amendment argument that he was a consumer of amateur porn. As to being a producer, amateur porn is protected by the First Amendment." Combs Shapiro also said at trial they emphasized that it was choreographed, that there was role playing in wigs. It was filmed, so covered by the First Amendment. But Mr. Combs also had a right as a consumer of amateur porn, free speech, Coalition versus Paxton. So if you want to look up that case, Coalition versus v. Paxton, Paxton. So you see where they're going with this, right? He was a consumer of amateur porn. Okay. He is protected under the first. It doesn't matter if he filmed every now and then. But they didn't find it just because they didn't find all the film. It doesn't matter. His attorneys are cooking right now, guys. They're cooking. His attorneys, Miss Shapiro, she cooking right now. She is. The judge got to be under a lot of pressure too, because he got to make the right decision here. He does. Tammy C said they're really doing the most. Lorraine Sweet said Diddy running scared. Andrea Jack said great news, Max. Two of the people involved in my daughter's death are in prison right now. When did they get caught? When did they get caught? Andrea, when did they get caught? Okay, let's see what else, y'all. What's the update? Just entered the room. We're reading it right now, Lorraine. They're fighting the good fight. Yeah, they are. I'm reading the updates now as we go along, waiting for the next one. The last update, Lorraine, was this is from Diddy's attorney, Alexandra Shapiro. She said at trial, they emphasized that it was choreographed, that there was role playing and wigs. It was filmed, so covered by the First Amendment. But Mr. Combs also had a right as a consumer of amateur porn. See Free Speech Coalition v. Paxton. Yeah, they're cooking right now. His lawyers are cooking. Hey, what's going on, Chantel? Reading updates right now. Let's see. Let me just read the last update to you, Chantel, since you just coming in the building. Combs, Alexander Shapiro, his lawyer. At the trial, they emphasized that it was choreographed, that there was role playing in wigs. It was filmed, so covered by the First Amendment. But Mr. Combs also had the right as a consumer of amateur porn. See free speech. And she cited the case Coalition v. Paxton, Paxton. All right, let's get the next update. Alexandra Shapiro went on to say Jane even bought a TV so they could watch the videos together. Judge, how does that apply to the transportation count? Oh, Lord. You see, y'all see what I'm saying? Okay, let me read it again. I'm sorry. I need to read all this through before I make my comment. Sorry, guys. Alexandra Shapiro, Jane even bought a TV so they could watch the videos together. Judge, how does this apply to the transportation count? Alexandra Shapiro, if the intent included filming and watching later, the judge said, so not prostitution if it's recorded and watched later. Bruh. Yo, he's not, this judge is not moving. He's based. He's not moving, man. I'm just telling y'all this. He don't care about his fancy lawyers. He don't care. Okay? He does not care. Straight up. He don't care about all this right here. He don't. Let me read it again. Let me read it again. So let's really get this. Combs, Alexander Shapiro. Jane even bought a TV so they could watch the videos together. The judge replied, how does that apply to the transportation count? Combs' lawyer Shapiro, if the intent included filming and watching later, the judge responded again saying, so not prostitution if it's recorded and watched later? So what you're saying is not prostitution if it's recorded and watched later? You said they're in prison for other crimes they committed. It's grateful as well. The case is still being right. That's awesome right there. What's up, celebrity? Now, thank you for the update, Andre. Hit me up on my IG. All right, sorry about that. I disconnected my microphone. Lorraine said the judge not moving about Diddy. Diddy is a Lorraine said he not moved. He's not. Let me read this one more time since celebrity just come in the bill. Let me read it one more time. Let's just digest this exchange. Okay, remember Shapiro is Diddy's lawyer, and then we're gonna read the judge. Okay, so Shapiro, Jane even bought a TV so they could watch the videos together. Judge, how does that apply to the transportation count? Shapiro, if the intent included filming and watching later. Judge, so not prostitution if it's recorded and watched later. So that ain't prostitution if they record and watch later. He said, what about the transportation? He's still on that. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. We have another exchange. Shapiro, you wouldn't have to find this. This is a unique case. Judge, Ms. Slavic pointed out that the government's other interests included transportation across state lines. He's still on that, guys. Shapiro, you have to look at the conduct of this defendant. Judge, they say drug use. Oh, Lord. Lord, let me lay down. Oh, my God. Ooh, this judge is, he based. Based with a capital B. B-A-S-E-D. Based. He's straight based. He's not trying to hear what these fancy attorneys got to talk about. He's not trying to hear that. What about the transportation account though? What about that? He's been pretty consistent on he has been. He said, I don't think he's gonna change. And it's like, no. Yeah, you haven't been able to catch me live, and Andrea. It's been a minute. Listen, he already said that he's a threat to society. Yeah, he already said it. He kept saying it. Man, they giving it a good fight, but he was like, "What's up with the transportation though?" The government has brought up other issues. What about the transportation to engage in? All right, let's see if there's an update. Combs Shapiro, the only drug charge here was in the RICO charge, of which Mr. Combs was acquitted. The Department of Justice policy doesn't even say that. Ms. Slavic says it says the statute should only be used on prostitution as a business or the trafficking of minors. I think what's going to have to go down here is he's going to have to take this up in the appeals. He's going to get a considerable amount of time. He's going to get a considerable. Yeah, it's not. He going to have to take this up in the appeals, baby. Like I'm telling y'all this right now. He going to take this to the appeals, baby. He going to have to go to the appeals on this bad boy. Um, let's see what the update is now. No update yet. They could be having a sidebar. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you guys something real quick. You see how Diddy, even though this is an AI picture, you see how he looking in that photo? Imagine that imagine that face with gray hair. That's how he was looking at the judge when the judge said, after celebrity, you was there, you was with me. You remember when the judge, when he first came in there, because we've been waiting a long time. First they said he was gonna see if he was gonna get out after sentencing at 2 p.m. He went all the way to 5 o'clock, 5:30. As soon as the judge came in, he said, "Oh, by the way, denied, automatic remand." And that's how Diddy was looking. He was like a deer in the headlights look. That's how he was looking. He was kind of slumped in his seat a little bit, and his hair was fully gray. So just think of that picture with his hair fully gray. I know the judge, truth. I know the judge had to go by the jury's verdict, but the judge said, you know what he said, truth? He said, but he's automatic remand because he's danger to the community. So keep that in mind, man. He keeps saying it here. All right, let's see if there's another update. Not yet. But I'm gonna tell you something though. His judge, I mean, his Diddy's lawyer Shapiro, she's really good in the appellate part of this case. Max, remember he told the judge he was doing a great job. Yeah. Did the judge say thank you? I believe. Did he say thank you when he said that? Because I didn't hear him say thank you. Did you hear him say thank you? Judge is a straight millennial, man. He's not Generation X. He's a millennial. And he's on different type of time right now. He is. Okay, we waiting on the update. They probably having a sidebar. Oh, he responded. Did he say thank you? Maybe he did. But I'm gonna tell you something. This judge, he caught everything. There's nothing. You know how judges, they kind of just like not doze off, but they, they're human. They just kind of drift. He was not drifting off, not none. He was like into the case. Into the case. He responded quickly. He was on point. He remembered everything. Yeah. Yeah, there's no way to predict that generation. You said millennial judge, yeah. He's like 40 something, early 40s. He's the oldest of the millennials. Yeah, he's on a different type of time, man. All right, so Judge, those were my questions. He said those are my questions, Miss Shapiro. Shapiro said, I believe Miss Foster said the two women testified they were paying for prostitution. We must have been in a different trial. I don't remember either woman saying they were involved in prostitution. I don't remember that either. So let's see then what the judge say. I don't remember that. Damn, you hear how she said it? I must have been involved in a different trial. I don't remember that. Nah. Somebody said, like, well, what is the other alternative then? Because judges are human. I said, have AI robots do the trials. AI taking over everything else. It's probably going to take over that too. Because judges are human. In the past, we've had a lot of problems with judges. So I don't know, but we'll see what he do here. I'm not saying that he's biased or anything like that, but you said Cassie said it was prostitution. I don't remember that. I had to go back to my notes. She did say that. I don't remember that because that means she should have been on trial then. Okay, the judge said, "Let me ask you: a businessman takes one of his clients to a brothel and pays a prostitute to have sex with his client. That's not prostitution." Cone Shapiro, is he a voyeur as well? Cone Shapiro, the Mann Act has racist origins. Even 100 years ago, the statute was being criminalized by many criminal Supreme Justices. Many juries refuse to enforce it. The statute is embarrassing to the U.S. I submit respectfully. Hold on, let me go back to what the judge said again. The judge said, let me ask you, a businessman takes one of his clients to a brothel and pays a prostitute to have sex with his client. Is that not prostitute? No, this is different. No, yo, they got to correct this judge, yo. His bro. Let me tell you something. If I was his lawyers, I would be ready to get kicked out of court. Nah, bro. I said, Judge, what are you talking about? I would say it like that. What are you talking about? That doesn't apply to this case. What do you mean, brothel? The Shapiro, is he a voyeur? She said she's nice about it. She said, is he a voyeur as well? Nah, bro. No, this ain't got nothing to do with no. He is fucked. Oh my god, this man is fucked, man. Yo, they better say something. Like, Judge, what? You know what I would say? Judge, why would you even ask that? Is that in your mind right now? Is that what you're thinking this case was about, Judge? Oh, we need a new judge. Yeah, we need a new case. We need a new trial. We need a new judge, or you need to recuse yourself or something. Is this what you thinking? Okay. We just there, you know what I'm saying? Like, what hold on, let me read this again. The judge said, let me ask you, a businessman takes one of his clients to a brothel and pay. Yeah, that's prostitution. Hold up, let me read it. Let me read it. Let me stop tripping. Let me read it. The judge said, let me ask you, a businessman takes one of his clients to a brothel and pays a prostitute to have sex with his client. That's not prostitution. Cone Shapiro says he a voyeur as well. Guys, that's prostitute. Boy, they better talk to him. They better talk to him. They better talk to him because we only got a week here, bro. He gonna serve this man. I'm just telling y'all this. God, this ain't looking good. Yeah, he gonna have to appeal to. He gonna have, and look, she said the Mann Act has racist origins. Even 100 years ago, the statute was being criticized by many Supreme Court justices. Many juries refused to enforce it. That's true. The statute is embarrassing to the U.S. I submit respectfully. No, she didn't use the word prostitution. She said she felt like a sex work. Yeah, she said that. No, that's not the same thing. She felt like it. She ain't say she was one. She felt like it. No, that's different. They trying to make this man out to be like some type of pimp. And the judge is kind of like, see, the judge in his mind, Cassie was a sex worker. And they need to talk to this judge, man, to see where his head is at. Because I'm like, Judge, why did you ask us this question? So you already got it. You know what I would say? So, Judge, why are you asking us this question? So you already got your mind made up now, Judge. Yeah, we need to go ahead. I'm gonna appeal. I want a new law. I want a new judge on this case. I need to appeal now. I would be making all kind. He'd be like, well, wait a minute, you don't have to. I'm like, no. Like, what type of time you on? Yeah, the judge, man, listen. He don't care if that man act was okay. Combs Shapiro said Mr. Combs should be acquitted of the Mann Act counts. Thank you. Attorney, the attorney for the U.S. The purpose of the Mann Act has no impact on First Amendment activities. The arguments about the Department of Justice policy, those have been argued before. There was a motion to dismiss denied. Attorney also said they claimed there was no concern about secondary effects because it was behind closed doors. But that's the point. Miss Ventura is being punched and kicked. They trying to cook now. The defendant has the burden to show that the evidence was not sufficient. They can't do it. Cassie and Jane both testified, although they didn't want to be having sex with others, they had to for days. He planned them, he choreographed them for his own pleasure. If the escort couldn't perform, he was paid less. Oh my God. They're gonna mess around and get this man the max. I could see him coming out of this with um at least 12, 13 years. At least. And probably more than that. That judge might mess around and make it consecutive, man. Oh my God. He ain't getting out today. Ooh boy. Yeah, so sorry about that. I had to reboot. Oh my God, God, this don't look good. This don't look good at all. This don't look good. He said, U.S. attorney said this went on for 15 years. The evidence is sufficient. The defendant motion should be denied. The judge said, thank you. Anything about sentencing? If the motion is not granted? Cone Shapiro said no. The judge said, I'll decide soon. Adjourn. Man, it's crazy. I don't know what to tell y'all now. Um, yeah, but see, they didn't even challenge him on that question though. I'm like, Judge, what do you mean by that? If I take my client to a brothel, this ain't had nothing to do with no brothel. And you know what I mean? This ain't had nothing to do with no brothel. But what the judge is saying is, okay, the client, when he took Cassie and paid for her to have sex with somebody else, is that prostitution? That's pretty much what he's saying. He thinking it's prostitution. He thinking it's engaging in prostitution. Point blank. Period. He said his decision would be, "I see you next week at sentencing. Goodbye." Oh, this is crazy. Um, what's up, celebrity? Let me see. Celebrity there. Oh, wait a minute. Move. There you go.
Yeah.
What's going
Listen,
on?
I'm listening to. I don't know why people thought he was going to have a change of heart. He's been pretty consistent on his ruling throughout the entire case. I know some people think that he's biased. I don't necessarily think that, even though I don't agree with all of his, decisions. But as the judge, I mean, he's just that's kind of his role, right?
Yeah, I mean yeah, so what do you thinking the judge is on what do you think the judge thinking right now?
I think I feel like, I mean, he granted them because he's trying to give them every out to, show that he's been fair and impartial by allowing this hearing and, for them to make their case. But again, he's been pretty consistent in terms of the one thing that he stated. Remember when we went back and people were thinking that Diddy was going to be let out, and he said, per your own words. Well, I'm, not stating it verbatim, but based on his history of violence, he cannot be, let out or remanded or whatever he said. So I think that he's adhering to that. I mean, he is literally restating what they said in their opening arguments, that he admittedly had been violent and all of those things. And those are some of the reasons that I think they're not going to let him out. Remember, they also talked about the fact that there was possible jury tampering, or they thought that he was reaching out to people, witness tampering and stuff. So I think with the elements that the threads that have been laid out throughout this whole trial, he's not going to bend. There's nothing significant that's really changed that's going to change his mind. I don't necessarily agree with it because I think there are way more violent people. We have children like that guy who just got arrested for unaliving his son. He had harmed a kid before. So I think there are way more violent people, but the judge has been pretty consistent. So I don't know. I don't think so. And
I
then
agree.
what remember with and they just released the what is it called, that the statement from the probation statement.
Wait, let me see. So True said is selling sex and partying for sex the same charge, prostitution.
Can you repeat that?
Is selling sex and paying for sex the same charge, prostitution.
Paying for it. And so, well, here's the thing. I don't know about in other states, and I don't know if the laws have changed here in California, but pros, can't say the word, they get arrested as well as don't the Johns get arrested too?
Yeah.
Anybody engaging in it. So either side. So somebody earlier said that he was a PIMP. Well, then if he was a
No, they
PIMP,
get they get they get arrested for solicitation.
but that's only because they couldn't complete it though, right? You're soliciting, which means it's illegal.
Soliciting and engaging.
Okay, so that's
And no, they get charged for paying for the purposes of a prostitute. They're not getting charged with prostitution, no. The Johns
no,
don't get charged with prostitution.
but they can be arrested for soliciting, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. All parties involved in the act of that can face some charges.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody earlier said that Diddy was a PIMP, then that would make Cassie a street, you know. And so then wouldn't they both be guilty?
They are.
That's
They
all.
well, they if that was the case, yeah, they both would be.
But and then remember, the only reason Cassie people I think people forget the only reason Cassie didn't face charges was because they needed her to testify against Diddy, and they gave her a deal.
Right.
Yeah, so constantly making him the only culprit in this, I think, is wrong. It was a group of people with bad behavior, and they helped. It was a group of
A
people. It wasn't.
celebrity.
Uh huh.
Hold me down. I'll be right back.
Okay, you guys, I can't see the comments. Let's see. I can't see the comments, but oh wait. Okay, I see Truth. Truth says Puff didn't make no money off them. He took a loss in the benefited and got paid big time. Yeah, I don't. Truth. I lean towards kind of what you're saying. As I said through the testimonies and everything, I feel like the women were complicit as well. Just like I mean, in any situation, like they have the whole Mustang Ranch in Vegas where these women go and it's like employment. So for them to partake and participate in this and then a decade later go, oh, we were victims, I don't necessarily buy it because you were you got money and you participated in it. Now when I think of trafficking, because I'm in the Bay Area, so we have a huge, it's really bad here. I'm thinking of underage girls picked up. We have several of those cases right now that are snatched up off the street, forced into this, and their parents are looking for them, and they're things like that. Cassie was put up in a nice apartment or whatever. Yeah, Diddy did abuse her physically. Yeah, women, that happens to women a lot, but she also was able to jump into a Porsche or Ferrari or whatever car she had in Beverly Hills, wherever she stayed, drive to some of these freak offs, do the freak off, go back home, get a bag, go to the Louis Vuitton store. I'm not looking at that as a true victim of what we're seeing or what I believe that the law was really set up for and who it was to protect. Um, Hey Medea, he may have been in the power position. I don't know what you're saying, but I do believe that all of them together, because I look at it like this: if these characters came together and they participated in these acts against other people, and Cassie was giving drinks, like you're bringing other people into this demonic circle. You know what you're doing. There has to be some accountability. You can't just act like, oh, the mastermind, he forced us. At some point, maybe he did have the power, but you were complicit. You went along with it. I don't buy that you're just victimized throughout this whole entire situation, especially when there is a bunch of money, when there's a whole bunch of money involved. I'm sorry, there was payment, there was a lifestyle, and y'all lived it and you agreed with it. So that's my stance on it. And we can agree to disagree. Um, he was the one providing the money to the women. Yeah, but the women were taking the money to participate in these acts too. Right? I mean, he was still paying, like, you don't have to do these things. It's just crazy to me how women are like, oh, no, he didn't. Because there's a whole lot of us out here who get out there and grind and hustle. I don't get it. And if you guys don't know, I used to run, I had my first boyfriend, his brother was a PIMP in Oakland. And so I used to sit with the girls that he would have over in San Francisco. And so these women knew what they were doing. And Cassie's situation was different. Cassie was living even better than I would say most of these girls who are just hitting the stroll, with their Johns and everything. Cassie was living the life. So I just disagree. I don't have a lot of sympathy for her, because I can't hold Cassie accountable because of the grooming process that I'm sure occurred to. I mean, the grooming process, I don't necessarily buy into that either, because there are women out here who, again, do it. They make a choice. So were they groomed or did they just make a choice? Like, I can't go back and understand her mindset as to why she did it. I just know you don't have to do it. So if Jane is questioned, that's what I'm saying. So like, we don't really ever know what their motivation or reason for doing it. especially if there's money involved. Like, again, when I'm talking about trafficking, when we hear about these girls who are off, they're not getting money, they're not getting paid. They are literally being forced to do this and routinely with, and they're not get able to leave and go to their apartment and go to the Gucci store. No, no, I'm not buying it.
You say you're not buying it, huh?
I'm not. Max, you know we talk about how these girls, the pros that I knew, these women knew what they was doing. They was putting Visine drops in the men's coffee to so they could rock. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, it was a choice. Tammy says she's not either. I mean, and everybody is, everybody has an opinion, and we agree to disagree. But I tell you what, Cassie was given Max, what do they call it? I'm drawing a blank. You know, when you testify, they give you immunity.
They never quite said they gave Cassie one though. I'm
But
sure she did.
yeah, but so my point though is that she was guilty of something. Cause she said she didn't want to testify, she didn't want to be there. It was almost forced.
Well, she let me see. What's up, Medea? Medea, did you want to come on? Did you want to step up with us? I
Yeah,
just
come
let
Medea,
me
come on,
let me
come
give
on.
you the link through your IG. Check your IG.
See, I don't think I can't look at one person being older and one person being younger. Again, people had like I don't look at it from that perspective. There's a motivation for each person, and because a lot of us say, well, this person was older, so they're more guilty. This person was younger. No, if you are a minor, yes, there are different laws that apply. But once you over 18, they don't go, oh, well, she was 40 and this one was 22. No, guilty is guilty, baby. Motivation at hand knows the sentencing is going to be on September 3rd, I believe. October 3rd, my bad. Thank you. I don't know who's saying this. The person is saying, in their opinion, everybody that was involved wanted to do it. I agree. And here's the thing: if you look at the IG pages of some of the women that were involved, they still out there trying to sell that cat. Okay, they still out there putting up the thirst pictures. So come on, y'all. They out there. Gina, she's still throwing up them little body shots. The other one that we cannot say her name, Jane, throwing up them body shots. Yeah. And then they so cool with it. They have music talking about I'm that girl and I get what I want. So no, I mm-mm.
Said I'm that girl, and what she say? She that girl, and she
You
get what she
Max,
want.
remember she was talking about she get the bag and all that stuff.
She get the bag. Hey, what's up, Medea?
Hey
Hey
guys.
Medea.
She
Hey
said she
y'all.
get the
Hey.
wait. She said she get the bag. She said I'm that girl.
Yes, that was Gina. Gina was bragging.
I like Gina.
Can y'all
You
hear me?
I can hear
Wait,
you,
Max,
Medea.
you like the other one too
Okay.
though, right? Didn't you like Jane Doe?
Um, yeah, I like Jane Doe. Yep.
See?
I feel like Jane was already an industry chick, because
Yeah,
of
I
her
agree.
connections and,
I
like
agree.
her referring another sex worker to the other celebrity,
And you know
kind of
what she
like,
did afterwards, Medea? She hugged people after she got off the stand.
Yeah.
As a
right.
support to girls, we got this girls.
Hmm.
You hug both the women. We got this girls.
But Max, remember because they were representing her. Remember, Diddy's team had been representing her up
Right,
until a point. Yeah.
right. But she hugged prosecutors as well.
Yep.
We got this girl power. That's what she was doing.
She thinks she playing both sides.
And she walked right on out of there like, look, she walked right on out of there like she was on a runway.
Yeah.
And Diddy looked out of the corner of his eye.
Diddy was hot.
But no, I respect your opinion, celebrity, and I could see it from both sides.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
just just in first reading Cassie's lawsuit, which that was the linchpin. That was like if they, like when they take the pin out of a exploding device, that was what it was. Her lawsuit was just the unraveling of this
Yeah.
whole situation. But reading through all of it, I'm like, oh my goodness, and yes, she had a choice to leave. She did. She had a choice to leave. But when you're in abusive relationships, men and women, because I'm not just gonna say only women get abused, men get abused too. There's some female narcissists, female abusive women, physical, mental, sexual, spiritual women out there who will abuse a man. But when you are in that type of relationship, you form a codependency of sorts at times, So I kind of I see it from that angle too. But yeah, I agree with you. She could have left. She could have very well left him alone, even with the threat of the videos being put out there or whatever. She could have actually decided like enough is enough because she did eventually, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. She eventually
Like
left.
after all those years, she eventually said, "All right, I'm done," and nothing happened. No videos were exposed. No threats. No nothing. From all the testimony, his defense did a great job of pointing that out. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm at work.
No, you good.
It's okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's that's why I want to get different perspectives, right? Because so, what are you guys ultimately gonna think was gonna happen at sentencing?
He's not. I
No,
don't
let
think
me
he's
just
gonna walk. He's not gonna walk like people are saying.
let me give you the what he's looking at. So he's looking at a maximum of 10 years each count. Now the judge could sentence him consecutive or concurrent. Medea, you already know what it is with that
Yeah.
language, you two celebrity. So with that being said, so the judge, there's point system. They did increase his points from, if I'm not mistaken, you guys already know that. So with that being said, it's still recommendations. What you think the judge gonna do next Friday?
Max, do you have that probation summary? Because from what I know and from what I've been reading, that they rely heavily on that, and I don't think he's going to depart too far. Even if he interjects his own, he has to make. People are saying the judges are biased. Their job is to have. We're human, so I don't. I think he's going to follow. He's been consistent with keeping them in. He hasn't let them out, and I think he's going to be pretty consistent with what they're requesting in that probation summary. So he's. I don't think he's going to get out, and I think he's going to do some time.
Let me take a look at that. You said the probation
I think
summary, right?
Well, I forget what they call it. Let me see. Let me see if I could find what
Yeah,
they.
that's it.
the Iola factors.
Yeah.
The probation report that they just got it a couple days
Yeah,
ago.
that's from what is it? Services, some type of service,
Yes,
but I can't remember right
yeah,
now.
right. Where everybody was sending their letters and everything, and
Hmm.
those letters that the people sent. I mean, of course, the judge will entertain them, but I don't think they hold it. They definitely don't hold as much bearing as the probation services, because that's their job and that's part of the courts, the judicial system.
I
So,
think I
mhm.
think the judge is just gonna split the difference. I think that the
You think the what?
prosecution is he's just gonna split the difference. I don't think the prosecution is gonna get the exact time that they want, and I don't think the defense is gonna get the exact time that they want. Do I think he's
I
gonna throw
agree.
the book at him? No. Do I think he might end up doing 2 years, which he's already approaching 1 year already, or he did a year already, I believe. So he might end up doing like a couple of months
I
and then
agree.
probation.
I think the judge is gonna kind of look at everything in totality, and I mean, I want to say fair, but because the PSI, somebody said the PSI, thank you for putting that. They were
Yeah,
asking, they were saying it should be elevated. Do you remember that, Medea?
absolutely, yes.
So I can't foresee the judge saying, "Oh, hey, well, we're gonna let you out for time served." No, you're gonna have to do some time, even though people don't want to hear that. That's what I think's gonna happen.
And in reality, I think that the judge, like you said, has been very fair. A lot of people believe he's been biased, but I feel that he's been very fair in hearing both sides' arguments and also making fair rulings on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's reported that Diddy has had like 60 letters of support
Yes.
submitted. I'm curious to know how many letters of, against him getting a light sentence or being released that they've gotten. They haven't really said much about that.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe they're entered into as exhibits with the other ones. So I haven't checked lately.
Or maybe, look, or maybe those exhibits are sealed and only being shared with the judge.
Could
Because
be.
there may be other private victims or private who need to remain anonymous for fear of their safety or whatever. So, and that's another thing that people need to bear in mind because whenever there's a case, celebrity, there's a lot of evidence that's brought forth that doesn't make it to the trial, doesn't make it to the public arena. But
Right.
the one person who is fully aware of that evidence is the judge.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right. The PSI is going in the lower end. The prosecutor was asking for more months. That's correct.
okay, so what's the PSI asking for?
Let me see. I forget that I forget what it's asking for. I think comes out to a little over 5 years, something
Isn't
like that. So
5?
80 some months or something.
Yeah.
Then
Which was,
his lawyers are asking 1 to 18 months. His
the
lawyers are
P
asking for that.
I thought the PSI was asking for a higher.
Yeah, the his lawyers are asking for I think 14 months now. 14 to 18, which means that he can get sentenced because he's already got time served, which means he could spend the rest on supervised release
Um,
Friday.
I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I'm telling people he's not getting out, man.
I don't
But
think
you
so.
know what? I don't
Huh.
know. Who am I? I don't know. We're
Well,
gonna
no,
have
we
to wait.
don't know, but I mean, we know we watched the case, so I mean, of course, we have opinions. I mean, I
But
don't
you
see
never
it
know.
happening. Yeah, you
You
never
never
know.
Yeah, he could get out on time served.
Well, somebody who has done time told me yesterday that he walking out of there on October 3rd. He was like, I'm telling you right now, he's been through the system and he
He's
was like,
he
he's
walking out of there.
walking out of there. That's what he told me. He said, I said,
Okay.
why would you say that? He was like, because first of all, they didn't catch him on the major acts,
Right.
the major crimes, and they only caught him on those other two smaller charges. And he was like, he's not going to see prison because he's already done just about a year.
Yeah.
And because of his record, as well as not his prominence, but like he doesn't have any other
Right.
convictions, which is scary because even with that being said, and even with that information, look at what happened to Nature Boy. He didn't have any. Yes.
Right. Yeah, it is. Like, did you see his son update on IG?
No, what he put.
He had posted a video of him and his dad shaking hands, and he's using the Biggie beat.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he's
I saw
waiting,
that.
like he's anticipating his dad coming home. He ready for his daddy to come home now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ready for him. And I believe he's really struggling without him. He needs him on.
Honestly,
He needs Diddy home. He does.
I I think all of his children.
Yeah, they
I
do because they don't
mean,
have their mother. They need him.
Right.
yeah,
And despite what people think about him, I was watching his YouTube page, back because I didn't know he was a vlogger like that. Did you? He used to vlog on a regular
No,
basis, and he did like a family channel, and he was really good to his kids. They
Yeah.
didn't want they didn't want for nothing. And it was funny, like he's one of those funny dads. Like he was sitting, I remember he had this one where he was teaching them how to dance. Like they were doing something for TikTok, right? He said, no, no, I can dance. So he was like, I'm gonna show you guys how to do it because your dad is known for dancing. He said, I'm known for this. So then he was like serious, like going through the steps. He said, okay, y'all ready now? Y'all got it? And then kind of looking at him like, oh my God, we got to deal with this. And then one time he was trying to cook spaghetti. It's just like he's funny. Like his kids love him, man. They do. But I think that when he come out this time, he's gonna have a new perspective on life. He really is. You know what I'm
but
saying?
the one thing that I will say is, while we see that with him as far as with the kids and how they didn't want for anything, we also have to be mindful that Judge Submarinian has to look at him like he would look at you, Max.
Right. No,
He
I
can't look
understand
at
that. No,
him.
no, no. I
Oh, okay.
understand. I get that. Yeah, I totally get
Yeah,
that.
he can't
You
look
know
at
what
him
I'm
as
saying?
Diddy. He got
Right.
to
Well,
look
if
at him
I
as
but I
Sean
hope
Combs.
I hope that he would look at him as if he was me because I don't have no priors. I
Yeah,
have
and
no
you don't.
priors.
But I'm talking about the fame and the money and
Right.
the
Yeah, I'm
dress.
going what you're saying, just on the baseline. We're not
Max, you
talking about
rich too,
celebrity.
though. Look, no shade. Max, you rich and you are a celebrity. Just let's be clear. Don't get
Oh
it
well, that's
twisted,
happening,
okay?
right? That's happening.
Okay.
But look, what? So, man, so you said your guy was like the guy you would listen to saying he's getting out on
Yeah,
Friday.
there's a dude that I talked to in person. It's a
Okay.
family friend.
Well, we gon'
He
we
said,
gonna
"Listen,
party outside. I might have to show up if he get
look,
out. I'm gonna be out there, Dan. I'm gonna be. Look, my back is messed up.
look." He said he
They
he
put
did
this.
fat time too. He did fat time, and he said he been through the federal system. He said, "Look,"
No, did he
he
say it
said,
like this though? No, I've been through the feds. Did he say it
"Yeah,
like that?
yeah." He said
Yeah,
that
that's how they say it. They look. They take that as a badge of honor.
yeah,
My boy told me one time. Born right, Medea.
yeah, I do.
You know what he said to me? He said, "Man, I wasn't in state. I was in the feds."
Mhm. The badge of honor.
Yeah, he was like, "What you talking about, Max? I wasn't in no state. I was in the feds." He said, "I had SUVs come pick me up."
There's a difference, okay?
Yeah, he said, "I had the U.S. Marshals come arrest me." I said, "Okay." Yeah, I
Mhm.
was in fed time, USP. So, all right, well, that means he getting out Friday.
According to him, he said he don't see it. He can't see it. He was like, the prosecution could try to do whatever they want to do, but his record plus the charges, the Mann Act itself, what it was originally created for, and based on what Diddy was actually doing, it doesn't really compare. I was like, you serious? He was like, yeah, it don't really compare. Like, there's people in the federal penitentiaries who actually do exactly what the men act like. They meet all criteria. He was like, he does not meet all criteria for the man act.
Right.
He just don't.
But
The
Medea,
only
if that was the case, then why wouldn't he let him out? The early release into
because
the sentencing.
the first of all, the only criteria that the man act meets for Diddy is that he paid for prostitution. That's it. That's it. He didn't benefit from it. To be honest, the prosecution did not do an excellent job of showing whether or not it was coercive control. That's just my opinion. I don't think they
Yeah.
did their due diligence to
Hmm.
show force. I don't think so. But why he didn't let him out is because that man act itself has I think Cassie's lawyer pointed it out. It's mandatory remand. That
Right.
actual act. Period. There's no argument. There's no, well, he didn't really meet criteria. No, if he's found guilty of it, based on the statute itself, it says mandatory remand. That's why he couldn't let him out.
Yeah, so we called that the day it happened. So what's going to change though? So what why does this person think that the judge is going to be lenient in the sentencing?
because
That's
he doesn't have no priors, and also yeah, he don't have no priors or anything like that, and he could sentence him on the low end, which is time
Right,
served. But I don't think
right.
he's gonna get that.
yeah, I
That's
don't either.
no. He. I'm telling. I told him we made a bet. I said we gonna see. I said we gonna see because I'm thinking the judge is gonna split the difference, and he might end up doing like 6 months in the feds, if that. But he's saying he's not gonna spend one night in prison.
Well, if he do 6 months, he could do the rest in MDC.
Maybe, but he said he ain't gonna. He said that's not even gonna happen. He said he walking out of that courthouse on October 3rd.
Okay.
So people said he was going to walk out today too, so I don't know.
I'm late. He didn't walk out to he was supposed to walk out today. Oh, because
So Lorraine
they
said,
were
did the
arguing.
women? Lorraine Sweet says Lorraine Sweet says, did the women provoke Diddy to hit them? So in response to Lorraine, Jane, yes, she provoked him because she hit him first.
Yeah,
So
she testified to it.
in one instance, yeah,
Yeah, she said she provoked him.
yeah, she
She
did.
testified to that and said that.
She did under oath. She did.
And that
She
was the
said
only
she smacked
time
him in the head.
that was the only time they ever had a fight.
Right. And that was after she knew about the Cassian, the whole lawsuit and everything.
Yeah. But
But the people who are saying that, I mean, I guess I can see how people could say that he would have walked out today because they were arguing that he should be acquitted on those charges that he was found guilty of because of he wasn't making profit. So his defense, they're pulling out all stops. They're really doing, they're bringing it up. They turning it up. Are y'all talking?
Oh no.
Oh,
Y'all went silent. So I was like, okay. So
I was like,
Lorraine said,
mhm.
she said prostitution is illegal in Nevada. It's not. There are areas in Nevada where it is legal, ma'am. So America, that's not a fact.
Yeah, in Nevada, they have certain areas where it is very legal. The Bunny Ranch and other places, it's
Yep.
open.
Isn't it the Mustang Ranch? Remember, the guy
Yep,
Khloe
yep.
Kardashian's boyfriend Odom. He was at a ranch. Yeah.
Mhm. But it's just
Okay, Lorraine.
the
Let's keep going.
the man act to me needs to be a little. It needs to be updated a little bit because of the society that we live in right now. Like people get flown out all the time to do that. Like
Yeah.
people actually may not get flown out, but like come see people. Okay, like for instance, I've had people come see me for the purposes of not prostitution, but so it's like,
Right.
am I guilty of the man act?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. Like it's just kind of like it's a slippery slope as far as what they found him guilty of, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's an antiquated law, especially because it was steeped in race based. So yeah, I
hmm
agree with you. I'm surprised
It
that
needs to
somebody
be.
hasn't challenged it though. Huh?
it's still on the book.
Um,
Still on the books. They
Yeah,
have
it
that's
needs.
challenged it.
crazy.
They have. People have
Well,
challenged
how
the law. It's been updated a few times, but it just needs to be thrown out,
Yeah.
like
Well, I think it's
altogether.
I don't think it should be thrown out. I think it should be actually adjusted because it says in the Mann Act whether there's a consensual party or not. Just flying them out is the Mann Act. That's crazy. Like if I say yes, fly me out, we could do the do and do it any way you want, which way, whatever, Monday through Friday. Let's have an orgy. This is that. I can't turn around and say something happened to me. If I said okay, let's do it, that's wrong, like
Yeah.
in my opinion, like because that would mean that a lot of us are guilty. Like chat, please don't play like y'all never had nobody pull up. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Yep.
Because with Jack Johnson, when they convicted him, it also said it because they were like, well, they argue, well, this was his girlfriend or wife. They said don't care as long as this were for illicit sex acts for immoral purposes. The moral purpose back then was him with white women. And guess who pardoned him?
Who?
Trump did. He pardoned Jack Johnson after death.
Oh yeah, I remember you stating that. Yep.
Well, I knew he was going to do that because he's a huge boxing fan anyway. And he had always said that was something that he would do. Yeah, he pardoned him because he said he ain't do nothing. The hell did he do? You can't. He said you can't tell a grown man who he wanna marry. He said that man had dignity, man. That was Jack Johnson. He said that was the champ. And he also said every time Jack Johnson won, this is what Trump said. He's true about this. He said every time he won a fight, somebody got lynched. Every
Max.
time.
Max. So I'm gonna say you're an expert on the Mann Act in terms of because I first learned of it through you. So Lorraine is saying, was the Mann Act only for Jack Johnson? Answer yes or no. Can you
No,
elaborate?
no. It was called the White Fugitive Slave Act. It was originally for they didn't want slaves being or black people being with white women. That's what it was originally for. And Jack Johnson came along and he was in an open interracial relationship. Now you would thought that this would be an antiquated law after Loving versus Virginia,
Yeah.
after that case, but no, they still kept it on the books. But it was primarily for pimping, you know, like pandering. That's what they really used it for. Um, but yeah, they use it on Jack Johnson just to get him away. And let me tell you what happened when they arrested him. When he finally turned himself in, the warden of the jail refused to put him in handcuffs and refused to lock him in his cell. He said, "I'm gonna give him the dignity." And he said, "Man, this is the champ, man." He said he didn't do nothing. Did you know even white people, they were pardoning a lot of people. They were practicing jury nullification back then because they didn't want people to get locked up for that. Like, okay, this black guy, he marrying this white woman, but everybody wasn't racist back then. The families like, no, we like him. This our guy. No, we arrested him anyway. So they practiced jury nullification on some of those cases. Um, back then. So yes, it was wrong what they did to Jack Johnson. It took Trump to pardon him. That was wrong what they did. That actually affected him and actually ruined his career. Now, there were other cases where I can't argue with you, right? They used it on Chuck Berry. Now, allegedly, Chuck Berry, he was with a younger person in his family. I can't argue for him there. You see what I'm saying? She was underage.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I mean by adjusting the law for the, appropriate crimes. Like giving consent or being down with the get down, I don't think constitutes a crime. If you're consenting Like I said, the prosecution, I don't feel, did their due diligence really in showing that control and force. Like they had access, the federal government had access to all of Diddy's financials. Why didn't they talk more about what he was paying for Cassie, what she stood to lose financially? Why didn't they talk about the fact that she was actually as his subordinate? She actually was signed to Bad Boy. Why wasn't there much, to let the paint the picture? Like Max say, put some paint where it ain't. Why didn't they do all of that?
You finished?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking to somebody else.
Oh, oh.
Somebody
That
is
was perfect
cleaning up.
timing. That was perfect
Is it
timing.
is it is it is the floor still wet?
That's just how I see it. They should have put out more for the jury to actually understand the coercion for Cassie. Jane, like I said, I think she's a little questionable.
Here's the
And
thing though, the
I'm
judge.
not, I don't take nothing away from Jane. I just want to say that publicly. I don't take anything away from her with her truth or whatever. It's just she was older. She was much more experienced. And that to me was a little bit of a red flag.
Yeah, yeah. It's we'll see what happens though. But it's the airways are being flooded with lies, and they're starting to attack people for their lies. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. You heard it here first. After this is done, there's a lot of people about to get sued, and they're vloggers. They don't realize it yet. Yeah, they
Yeah.
about to
Max,
get sued.
Max, what you gonna do if you go into the courthouse, right?
I'm gonna try to. Yeah.
Well, if God willing, you feel better and you're up to the task to go, and the judge finishes the sentencing, and then he said, "Okay, Mr. Combs, you're free to go." What you gonna say?
He free to go?
Yeah.
Oh man, let me hurry up and get outside because that music gonna be playing. Okay,
Yeah.
he about to get ready for Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that would be an amazing event because I know
He
people
about
will go crazy.
he about to start partying.
Yep. The whole family,
Now,
right? It's a lot. Yeah.
now my next question is, do you
Yeah,
guys think that this outcome, whether whatever way it goes, do y'all think it's going to be as historic or as memorable as the O.J. Simpson verdict?
no, it's not as memorable. No,
Why? Why would you say that?
no, OJ is nothing compares to it because half the people they don't care about this case. The whole country was divided on OJ. No, it don't compare.
That's true. That's
Yeah, it
I
true.
doesn't
agree.
compare.
I agree with Max. I think because we were divided, there was the elitism of the athlete, him being an athlete. There was the race component. I mean, it was just everybody was engaged. And remember, we didn't have social media like we have now, so people were glued to the television, the newspapers. That was like one of the first big ones. That was like, what did they call it? The case of the century. I mean, and that
Yeah,
was an
the trial of the
unaliving
century.
trial of the century. That was somebody lost their. So I think it's different. Police corruption. There was so many elements,
Yeah,
and it
but
was just
OJ
like,
didn't do it though. It was a confession in the case. And let me tell you what happened. There was somebody I know that worked in the NFL. You know what he said? He said, let me just
hmm,
say this. He said, let me say this without saying it. He said before OJ passed away, years before he passed away, he was invited back to the NFL Hall of Fame. I said, when was he invited back? He said he was invited back before he got arrested and had to do all that time. He was invited back to Cannes. And he said they
mm,
wouldn't have invited him back and put his bust up if they knew he did it. They know they had word that he didn't do it. It's a well kept secret in Hollywood on who did it. It was a serial killer that did it. And that serial killer was a handyman for Nicole at the time.
Mm.
Now, here's the question though. Did OJ have some involvement? Like, did he kind of put a bird in his ear? We don't know. But
Right.
was he on the scene? Yes. He did come on the scene because he had a very strange habit of going looking in her window, right, to see who she had over there. And when he got there, he ran and he saw the aftermath when he got there. But he was at the scene. I bet you he was. And that guy admitted to it. He said, I did it. And I was a handyman for Nicole at the time, and I killed her.
How come I don't recall nobody admitting that ever?
They invited him back to the NFL Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
They did it for a reason. They would
Mhm.
never have invited him back to the NFL Hall of Fame. Even as it stands now, even though he was acquitted and stuff, but they just invited him back. That means they had some inside information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So I didn't know there was ever a person that admitted that he
Yeah.
did it.
There
I'm
was
gonna
a
check
person
that
that
out.
admitted it. And he admitted on
Wow.
his deathbed. And his
Dang.
son said he did it.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep. And
Mm.
why did he
But
do it? And why did he do it? He had the itch to kill. He's a serial killer. That wasn't the
but
first
most
time he killed.
and that's kind of unfair because most people are still thinking that OJ did it.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
eventually, if they want to, the truth will come out eventually. If they
Mm-hmm.
want to. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot, but I don't. But whether you think he's innocent or not, that's neither here nor there. But that case was the trial of the century.
Yeah.
It divided the whole country. You know what the second biggest case was? The
Hmm.
second biggest case was that caused the riots in LA. What was that case?
Caused a riot?
Rodney King.
Rodney King.
Oh yeah. That was big too. Yeah.
I mean, as
You're right.
far as
Yeah.
after OJ, you know, what I mean, as far as after that, in that time period, yeah, it was Rodney King.
Now, do you think that once Diddy, let's say he's released and he, whether he gets the time or not, once he gets integrated back into society, do you think
Mm.
it'll be open arms, or do you think people gonna look at him like he a funny dude? Like,
Well, people
where?
like a comeback story.
Okay.
That's how America is. People like a comeback story. And he gonna be all if he wanted to, he can get all the interviews he wanted, make a lot of money if he wanted to. And he's not broke, by the way. He's not. So
Well, then there's talk, and I don't know how true this is, but there was talk that his children and his mom and everybody, they've had a film crew following them this whole time.
Oh
okay.
wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's talk that there has been some type of filming going on, as if like, Diddy wants this memorialized in film for whatever reason,
Right.
probably anticipating his release.
Right.
He wants it
Oh.
filmed,
Oh,
That'll
probably
okay.
be
for a
that'll be
personal
a good special.
documentary.
That'll
Mm-hmm.
be a good special.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch
Me-
it.
Medea, did you hear that the charges of that lawsuit against his mom was dropped? Dismissed rather.
Really?
Yeah. It just
Everything's getting dismissed.
yeah. Earlier this week they reported it.
Why was it dropped?
Let me go back and look. Let me see. Um,
It's probably
You
lack
said
of
how did
evidence.
Brooke Shields' parents not get charged with neglect? Because the protection for the you know what?
Mm-hmm.
They
yeah,
had
that
the
now
Wow.
that was crazy. That young
protection. The
girl playing in
protection.
that movie. Do you guys remember that movie
Yeah. Which movie? Which movie?
where Brooke was kissing and all of that half at her age?
Oh no,
I
how
forget
about the Clint Eastwood movie?
which one was that.
You ain't see the Clint Eastwood He was kissing the 12-year-old on the lips.
No, what movie
Mm.
was it, Max? What?
Just search it real quick on YouTube.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
Wait, you're gonna see it. It's gonna pop up.
okay, so I'm responding to Medea was saying, asking about Diddy's mother. It says the $33 million racketeering lawsuit against Janice Combs was dismissed by a federal judge September 19th. The judge dismissed the case with prejudice and it cannot be refiled.
Mm.
Yeah, they're not really stating in this little blurb why, but yeah,
Possibly lack of evidence.
yeah.
And it's a
So
civil lawsuit. It was a civil case.
yes,
That's why. There was lack
Rico.
of
It was
evidence.
Rico too. Yeah,
Yeah, it had to be lack of evidence. It had to be.
a lot of those cases against him, they're being dismissed though. A lot, you know.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood. And look, you know what the girl said? She's a woman. They know what she said. That scene was real. Her reaction was real because she wasn't expecting him to do that.
Yeah, it says Clint Eastwood kisses a 12-year-old. What the hell?
Yeah, you can see the video.
What?
Yep. And you should see the reaction she had, and it was a real reaction. She didn't expect him to do that. She should sue his ass, like to this day. She should sue him, and she will win too, because Clint got hella money.
Real quick, I know this is off subject and you don't have to entertain it if you don't want to, but I've been kind of looking at just from the side this David case.
Oh man,
You
You,
know that
Medea, yes.
they're saying that the parents knew that she was dating him, right?
I heard that.
What?
Yeah, they
The
That's what
parents
they
knew?
saying.
Well, well, you're probably right because the brother had there. She's in pictures with the brother.
Yeah. When and allegedly, this is all alleged, and rest in power, young lady, but they're saying that the parents knew and they were okay with it because of the money that David was giving them. So it was okay for their 11-year-old daughter to be with him.
Yeah, she started dating when she was 11.
I
Yeah,
wish
Medea.
my daughter would.
I
I
have a
wish my
problem with
daughter would.
the mother because the brother has come out and said that they knew that there was a relationship. Now the mother, they came out a few days ago and had a GoFundMe. Why are we hearing from you so vehemently about a GoFundMe when you should have been all up the police's ASS when your daughter went missing at 10, 12, 11, 13? Like, I don't get that. Like, I read something saying that somebody from David's team allegedly, and you can go online and you'll see this. In some of the Reddit chats, they said somebody reached out to them and said, "You don't need to keep reporting her missing. She's fine, and you know where she is." My 13-year-old would have never been fine with a grown ASS man. Are you kidding me? It should be
Exactly.
that whole thing because they said after she went missing twice and then after that there were no more reports of her missing. That should have been an ongoing audit that every month we should have documentation of this mother being on these officers about getting her daughter home. And some people are like, well, if your kid wants to run away, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to exhaust every means necessary. That's my due diligence as a parent. Are you kidding me?
And
No.
look, just as a segue now to Diddy, that is what the Mann Act is for. That right there. That case, that is what the Mann Act is for.
Yes,
She was not old enough to give consent. She was not old
exactly.
enough to be down. She was not an adult. He should, if he had anything to do with it, the Mann Act would be applicable in that case. State lines and everything, because she was allegedly pictured at concerts with him, and She left her home to go fly all around with him on tour. Yeah, the Mann Act is applicable right there. That's what I mean. Like, I think the Mann Act should be applied to cases where it's a minor or someone who lacks the capability to consent. Either way, whether they down with it or not. Like somebody who is developmentally delayed, possibly, or a child.
And you know what else, Medea? It's crazy because her being underage, he wasn't a guardian, so she couldn't probably fly commercial flights. So what I'm reading is that they may have done private jets, but isn't there a manifest that they are even still supposed to have for private planes in case somebody perishes or something?
I'm
So
thinking so.
yeah, how did they even get her on these planes without the people knowing? All of those people had a hand in this.
But if the parents may have consented too, though.
Oh, you're saying her mom? Oh, yeah, if they were getting
Yeah,
money.
because there was a rumor that they were selling her.
Yeah, I heard her
Yeah.
sister was.
The
Yep.
sister. I don't know how true it is, but I don't care. But he in trouble. I just got a
It's
feeling
not looking good. Me
it's not
too.
looking
It's
good for
not
him.
looking good.
Cherie says, I have a question. Do we think the manager who was staying at David's home, should he be questioned? He's definitely going to be questioned. Everybody involved is going to be questioned.
Yeah, this is
I
going to
mean,
be a big case, and they're moving slow on it just to make sure
yeah,
that T's are crossed, I's are dotted.
everybody involved with that little minor girl. Yes, absolutely.
And also, I've heard rumblings that that's all already been hinted into because apparently the vehicle that she was found in, everyone on his team had access to it.
Oh,
So
Oh,
that's kind
really?
of,
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of already being put, the narrative is already kind of being set for that,
So it might
to
not be
see.
even been him that did it.
Exactly. But
And
I
she was.
doubt it.
yeah.
It's the dismemberment case, right?
Yeah,
Um,
unaliving and dismemberment. And
But
what do they say? Hmm.
Medea, they said so. Some reports came out yesterday. There was a really thorough report saying that they the police. They never said she was dismembered. They said that she was
oh,
decomposed. That somebody ran with that, but it wasn't an
okay,
official statement. So it
okay,
may have been that she had been in that car so long that the decay factor,
yeah.
that her body deteriorated. Because they said given they were able to identify her height and all sorts of other things. So that whole thing about her being dismembered may not be true.
I wish I could be the lead investigator in that case to interrogate him.
Hmm.
I'm like David. What do you want some beverage or anything I can get for you? Can I get you a soda or what do you want me to get you, David? What kind of food you want me to get you? He's like, what are you talking about? Order you anything right now from Uber Eats. Like, what do you want? And relax, have your dinner, relax, because you're gonna start talking today. Because if not, David, they going for the death penalty. Okay, David, help me help you, man.
And even if, let's say, even if, because they're setting the stage as far as the access to the car, even if a manager or one of his hype men did this, he was in the relationship with her. Like, you not looking for your little teenage girlfriend?
Right. And after you hear about it, you still able to perform. You're not breaking down. You're not canceling concerts.
Well, he brought caskets to the concert,
Yeah,
you know.
I think he gave us the blueprint of exactly what occurred. I mean,
Yeah,
if you looking at his discography, you see that he talks about it, and he even memorialized it from February 2024 to August, which is they're saying in February of 2024 is when they may have really, started really heavily dating, and then she may have perished in August of 2025, and that's him, Tommy, that photo with him at the eulogy. Come on, he's giving us all the information. I think they're going to use all of this because Max and Medea,
Yep.
Can't they use the lyrics against rappers now? Wasn't that isn't that isn't that a law where they can use your lyrics against you now in certain cases?
It just depends. They could use certain things. Like they more than likely will use his lyrics.
It's a slippery slope with that though, because some analysts have argued that that's kind of like infringement of freedom of speech in relation to him, because he also released a song about Celeste saying that every time he takes a breath, he thinks of her or something like that, which was really morbid.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a lot.
What if I
They're
just
saying,
make a? Well, let me
mhm.
tell you this. How would you feel? I make a song. All I just dream about is putting you in the trunk of my car and loving you from afar while you slowly go to the other side in the trunk of my car. Make a nice catch to it. The next thing you know, my girlfriend, they found in the trunk of my car. Now, what y'all thinking?
I'll be
Like
like,
he did
Max
it.
done did it. Max
Yeah,
Yeah.
done did it. Max
Max,
done lost his mind and did it. She must have been leaving
But
him
wait a
something.
minute, guys. But wait a minute, guys. I wrote this before she passed away.
you were foresee. He was, yeah, he had
Premeditated.
ideation.
You was
He had ideation. You were
meditating.
planning it. It was
Mm-hmm.
premeditated. That's what he
Yep.
wanted. And he even said, because I said he had ideations of unaliving, and he said that in one of his videos. He said, maybe I'm having ideations, and
Right. You cut off celebrity.
um, he's telling us.
He said you have an ideate. Yeah, for it. Okay. Well, trust me, they just taking their time with this one. They gotta
So
make sure
there
they
was
tease up.
reports that did you guys hear that there were reports that Celeste was at a concert of his back in mid-August? Well, there are new reports coming out saying that actually they can't confirm that that was her. That
Yeah,
sources close to the case said that was not her. So we
yeah. I
still
was
don't know
looking at
which.
it. I don't know if that looked like the same person, but I hope she's safe though. Whoever that is, because it looked like we might have a serial killer on our hands. So I hope she's safe. Because he like to write a song about it and go ahead and and delete you. What kind of love is that?
Yeah.
What kind of love is that?
But
They
what
just,
about the fact? What about the fact that he also has song lyrics where he says, "I unalived you in my mind." Like,
man,
and there was an interview where he was talking about it. He was like, "Yeah, it's not literally; it's kind of figuratively. I unalived this. I think it's romantic homicide, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
romantic
Chat.
homicide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. hmm And I also
It's
want to say I love the fact that the investigators are taking their time on this one.
Yep.
yeah.
Love it. Love it.
It's his alter ego, Tommy, that's doing all of the. Maybe and you guys think about this too.
Oh, he have
Why
an
was
alter
he
ego.
homeschooled? Why was he homeschooled? Did he have issues early on? Maybe his parents did know. Maybe he had stunted development or something.
I don't know. No, he seemed like a smart kid. Some people just like to homeschool their
Yeah,
kids, but he seemed like a smart kid though.
yeah.
You know, he just had aspirations of deleting somebody. Mental illness is
But then
real.
that's a part. Yeah. But they were talking about. I mean, I was listening to a thread where they were talking about what the homeschooling. Of course, it could just be that that's what his parents wanted to do, or it could be that earlier on he had some issues too. Like we don't
Could
know.
be. Could be.
He definitely seems. Well, I don't
Oh, let
know.
me tell you this. What you say? What you about to say?
No, I mean, yeah. No, go ahead.
I had was I well I wasn't dating this woman. It was like briefly, and remember I went to her house And she's like, yeah, this is my son. He was like 5 at the time. And I said to myself, yeah, he going to jail in his career. He gonna kill somebody.
Mm.
This kid, you know what he said to me?
Hmm.
He said, I should stab you right now.
Ooh,
He said this while
what?
his mother wasn't there. I said, yeah, you try it. Try it if you want to. I said that to him.
What?
He said, Mom, he's threatening me. He's threatening me. He said that. She said, what? What's going on? He said, try it if you want to. And she said, well, what did you say to him? What did you say to him, Marcus? What did you say to him? And he didn't say nothing. She said, what did he say? I said, he said he gonna stab me. And I said, try it if you want to. She said, go to your room. No. And just threw a fit and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to check to
I,
see what's up with Marcus.
I hope you broke up with her immediately.
Oh, it didn't last, but that day I wasn't dealing with no Mr. Marcus. I was not dealing with him. Your son crazy. You know, back in the day we say your son a little touched.
Yeah.
Meaning that he touched with crazy. And so
I'm
oh,
just anxious to see the
you
outcome
never
of this Diddy thing.
did he, yeah.
Go ahead, Max. Remember what?
No, Liz said I never heard this story. I said, yeah, I got stories, man. Dennis the
Max
Man. You a
got
Dennis the
stories.
Menace too, Liz. You a Dennis the Menace. Lord have mercy. Oh, Liz is the Dennis the Menace. See, Liz grew up with all brothers in the household, so she had no other choice but to be down with the get down. 'Cause she had brothers, and when you have all brothers in the household, sometimes when they little, they don't treat you like a girl. So you got to fight. You got to be tough with them. So I'm just messing with you, Liz. Um, yeah. So yeah, David, man, come on, David, come on,
Now
man.
that's one. If he is charged, you know I'm following it. I know you following it too,
Oh, I'm
Max.
following it for sure.
Hmm.
And that's going to be a big trial. You know, another one going to be a big trial, Luigi. You see all the women at court for him?
Yeah. Didn't the
You see,
judge? Didn't the judge in his case recently drop something against him? I'm trying to remember. There was a recent event where I think the judge dropped.
yeah, he did drop something. I forget what it was.
Was it terroristic? The terroristic part of it.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Hold on.
But he have all these women in court. One woman says she's married to his AI avatar.
I
She,
saw that. Yes.
yeah,
That's
you know what
crazy.
that's reminiscent of?
What?
Um, Ted Bundy trial. When Ted Bundy was on, he's a serial killer when he died now, but when he was on trial, all these women were sitting in the front row because they all loved him. It's the same
Cra-
thing.
Yeah.
He had all these women at trial, like Google eyeing over Ted Bundy. And know damn well if he was free, he would have killed all of them.
Another one that was crazy was it what's her name? Casey
Ca-
Anderson? What's
Casey Anthony. No,
Casey Anthony?
well, Casey Anthony is free, but you talking about what's the other one, Liz? What's her name? Not Casey Anthony. What's the other one that's in
The
jail
one
right
who got her boyfriend in the shower?
now? Yeah. What's her name, Liz?
I can't think of her name.
That woman, she get a lot of men contacting her as well. Marriage proposals, um, video requests. She gets a lot of video requests.
That was a crazy one, right?
Yeah. Jodi Arias, that's her name. Jodi Arias.
It says that a New York judge
Mhm.
dismissed the unaliving as terrorism. Um, the counts due to the fact that he felt like in the state indictment ruling them legally insignificant.
So they
The
pretty
judge
much just,
also the judge also denied the defense's request to stay the state prosecution um whoa, 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 to stay state prosecution in favor of letting the federal unalive penalty case go first. Whoa. So the judge denied the defense's motion for the state to go first. He's going to let the federal go first. And then separate, and that's on the state level now. Separately, in the federal case, a judge has ruled that the Department of Justice may have violated Mangione's right to a fair trial by public statements that could prejudice the case and ordered the DOJ to respond by October 3rd. So the same day Diddy is going to the hearing, there's going to be movement on that too.
Is that it? That's at 500 Pearl Street too?
It is, right, Max? Isn't it that New
I
York
think
too?
it is out of the
Or
Southern District of New York.
let me
Oh,
see.
that's gonna be crazy. Oh, Max, yeah, you gotta be there.
Yeah, I might have to go get a shot in my back then, celebrity.
Yeah, you gotta
I'm
get there.
gonna tell him, give me 2 shots.
That's gonna be
Mhm.
busy. Yeah, you're gonna have to get there because you could actually get in the courtroom. I think because a lot of people, I don't know if they're gonna be there, so you could really get in the courtroom that day.
I think it's
Hopefully for
gonna
both.
yeah. It's it's hard to get in there for Luigi because all the women showing up.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, one woman I told you, she said she's married to his AI avatar. She married to it. Okay.
Weird.
And then one woman said she dared just to support him, and he was like, she said, you waved to him. Did you get a response? He said, yeah, he just kind of gestured, you know.
Is
She said, yes, he made a response to me.
is isn't he gay?
Luigi, I don't think so.
I thought they said he was.
I never
Let me
heard
see.
that. I never heard
That's
that.
what I thought. I heard that. Let me look it up.
That's the first I'm hearing that. No, Luigi had he wasn't a type of person that couldn't get women. He used to get women. He
It
was chilling.
says
He had some
it says
sauce to him.
it says Luigi Mangione is gay according to Radar. Is
Nah,
he?
that's
Yeah, I don't know, Max, because I remember them coming out saying something about that back.
see, they're gonna try to. Yeah, I don't think so. He had girlfriends before.
Now his hearing is
Well, I know
being
what you're
held in
gonna
the
say. What was his
oh,
hearing?
it's being held in the Southern District, but it's being held at the Thurgood Marshall United States Courthouse, 40 Foley Square, New York, New York. Is that the
That's,
same address?
that's not that far away. That's down the street,
Mhm.
right? Celebrity.
uh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
yeah.
didn't hear what you say.
Foley Square is down the street, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
not. Yeah,
that's within walking distance, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna have to look. But I think his trial will be in the same building as Diddy's, though, because that's the Southern District of New York federal court building. So it'll definitely be there, but they probably hold it at a different spot because of Diddy.
Mm, okay, that makes sense.
It'll be a nightmare out there. Luigi supporters with Diddy supporters. Oh man,
Here
it'll be crazy.
it says that Diddy is at the Daniel Patrick
Moynihan.
Moynihan United States Courthouse, which is
Yeah,
adjacent. It's adjacent
Yeah,
to the Thurgood Marshall courthouse.
yeah.
So it must be like right across the street.
It's down the street. It's on the same side. It's down the street. Right on the same side too. Like you just walk right down the street, make a left. It's right there. Yep.
Well, chat and replay gang, if y'all want to definitely support the mission, please do. Um, let's pass the, what is it, the offering plate around. We need to get Max some injections, and we
For
need to
sure.
get him, if we need a driver and a wheelchair, he got to
Oh
make it.
man. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta make it there. If I had to go and get injection in my back, I have to make it to this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make it to this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to.
Max, can you imagine you being at the like at Diddy, everything wraps up, then Luigi starts, and you walk down the street, and all these beautiful women are dressed in Luigi t-shirts,
I'm gonna
screaming
interview
"Free
him.
my man!"
I'm gonna interview him.
Exactly.
Right. Then that's the case I'm on next. I'm gonna be with them. I'm gonna be like, hey, so how you feeling today? Are you okay? I'm like, how you feeling? Look, how you feeling? How you feeling? You okay? You holding up? Your man up in there? Yeah, they'll interview because they're very talkative. They want to show support for Luigi any way they can get it. Get it out.
Yep.
Yep. Luigi's their guy now. And Luigi just walking in there like, he's very aware of everything when he walked by. He sees everything. Like he looks at everything, especially somebody say something to him. He looks. So he's not that person just like walk straight and just staring straight and not like, poker face. He's watching everything. Oh, here's another thing that's going on right now. And this is big. Charlie Kirk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's new video evidence. Did you see it?
No.
He got shot in the back of the head. And the exit wound
What?
is through the throat. Yeah.
Hold on a second. So, wait a minute.
Allegedly.
Okay, but that would actually crush the entire theory of.
Yeah. Cash Patel mentioned that they're looking into something else. He even said it. Because you can clearly see the bullet muzzle go off too. You can clearly see it. You can see the bullet muzzle. You can see a guy look like he dressed in a ghillie suit. A
Mm,
ghillie suit is with the Marines wear to cover themselves. The snipers, they wear ghillie
hmm
suits. It looked like he had a ghillie suit on, and you could see the muzzle go off. And he got shot from the right side of the top of his head, and it went all the way down and exit through his throat. You can clearly see it on video. So what I'm thinking is the guy that they arrested, he's not going to get off because he could be a decoy. Like they could have had him on the roof to say, okay, be over here and start doing your movement, and you be a decoy. But yeah, that video clearly shows it. Clearly
So that
shows it.
would mean that it's a group of individuals and not just
Yeah,
Tyler.
I believe it was planned for sure. And a real sniper got at him. This is a real assassin that got him. Yep. The bullet was coming down, hit him in the back top of his head, and came all the way out through his throat.
And I just want to say publicly, like, and I actually did a video on my on the docket. I in no way, shape, or form agree with Charlie Kirk's message or his messaging. I think his statistics were at times uh, curated, or they were created in like to present the narrative he wanted to. However, however, I do not condone somebody just going out and unaliving someone
Right.
because they don't like what they talk about. That's as a
Yeah.
content creator and as somebody who's very open and vocal on, the internet. Can you imagine if that was like the norm, Max? You know, people, we would have to be. I mean, I walk around with my head on a swivel anyway, but come on, that cannot be. That's not, that's unconstitutional, immoral, and unacceptable.
Yeah.
Yep, agreed.
But
And
if
to
it's
even celebrate it, his, what happened. I can't go with that. Yeah, no.
done by who I think did it, they've been doing this for many years. This is normal.
Mm,
Assassinations are normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what would be the purpose of unaliving that man? You know,
Because
like,
he was really speaking out on a lot of things. I don't want to talk about it, but he was speaking out on a lot of things internationally and different other things that might have got him marked. The stuff that he was talking about, the normal stuff, that wasn't it. It was something that he said recently
okay,
that he's about to uncover something.
but it's still just a disgusting and a cowardice act to do that to
yeah,
somebody for
I
what they have
mean,
to say.
that's how nations get down.
Okay,
Look what they
but
did with, was it
who?
Anwar Sadat? I mean, all the Martin Luther King and
Oh yeah,
Malcolm
yeah.
X. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
assassinations is a part of our culture.
true.
JFK.
It's a part of the human culture, the human experience. Believe
Mm-hmm.
it or not. Benazir Bhutto, she got assassinated live on TV. I was watching it. And I had said, like, yo, did we just witness an assassination? And then a friend of
It,
mine I was working with, he drank, he used to be a massive beer drinker. Dude, take me to the store right now. I need a case of beer. Yes, we just saw, he said, never mind, let's go. Because he lived over in Jakarta and different places like that when he was a kid, because his father worked for the State Department. So he grew up overseas. So he was like, dude, she just got assassinated, dude. And we just saw it. And I'm like, how come nobody reporting on it? So maybe we didn't see what we saw. And next thing you know, breaking news, Benazir Bhutto assassinated. And how was we watching that? Because he's just into that type of news. We were just watching her because her dad used to be the leader and she was in exile and she came back because she wanted to be a leader and all that. And she was going through like a kind of like a parade and she was standing out of the rooftop of the car, the sunroof. And next thing you know, you heard a pop pop and then she just went down and back into the car. Yep.
Wow.
Craziness. Yeah, they
I
killed her
mean,
on the spot.
I don't particularly like that though. Like I said, I don't agree with his ideology. I don't agree with the celebrations either. Um,
That's
at
that's
all.
a smoke screen. If I tell you who I really think did, I have to tell you off here. I can't tell you on
Okay.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that offline.
Yeah.
Like celebrity.
And then you're
Let's
gonna
talk
be
about
like,
that
oh
offline.
well, yeah, man. And Candace Owens, she need to be careful now. Because she said the truth is gonna come out. Candace,
Man,
move
listen.
on.
I'm
Candace,
not
move
feeling
on.
her. I'm not feeling her at all. I'm not feeling her. I'm not. I don't agree with anything that woman has to say.
I just
All of
need
a
her to
sudden, nah. All of a sudden, she talking all this. Politic is this and this is like changing up her narrative, and I think it's because she is, not being really openly accepted, if you would, as she was once before. That's just
right.
my opinion. I feel like
Yeah,
she's changing her talking points to pander to a new audience to gain money.
agreed.
hmm
But she
So
said the truth is gonna come out on the shooting. But
I hope so.
I need her to just move on and talk about something else. Okay.
Well, apparently though, to her, and because I'm fair, I don't agree with her talking points. I think this is all just to get on the other side of things and gain the support that she needs to make money. But to her defense, apparently her and Charlie were very close friends,
Yeah.
very close friends.
I showed you that
So
video
Mm-hmm.
of him and her singing R. Kelly.
No, no,
Of all people, they sitting up there singing R. Kelly song. Bounce,
that's
bounce,
hilarious.
bounce, bounce, bounce. But he knew all the lyrics. Bounce, bounce,
Ah,
bounce, bounce, bounce. You know the Ignition song.
yeah.
And I didn't know they were that close. But she need to move on. That's what she needs to
Yeah.
do. She needs to move on.
I
Okay.
don't know, Max. I wouldn't be able to move on if it was my. Why she need to move on? I wouldn't
She
be
need
able to do that if that was my friend.
because I'm gonna tell you offline who I think did it. Matter of fact,
Okay.
let me tell you now. Don't repeat it. And celebrity, I'm gonna tell you as well. I'm gonna tell you right now, Medea, and then I'm gonna tell celebrity. Don't repeat it, but I'm just gonna tell you.
Max, you already told me, so I know what you're saying. I agree. Yep.
No, I don't think I told you this, celebrity. I don't think so. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, y'all check.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
I want you
Yeah.
to type in the first name and type in list of
Mm-hmm.
assassinations, and you're gonna see a Wikipedia page
Mhm.
on a list of their assassinations dating back since
What?
the 1950s. They're very
So you
proficient in
think she would be
assassinations. What's that? Celebrity? Medea, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, celebrity, you
I
breaking up.
get down, Tatum. I'll get it.
Truth,
She is breaking up.
if you need the answer, just hit me up on the back end. I'll tell you. Just hit me up on IG right now, Truth, and I'll tell you who it is. But don't repeat it, And then you guys will get like she needs to move on. She needs it,
I'm
and she
looking
needs
it
to
up
move
right
on.
now.
Yeah,
You're
look,
gonna have to hit me up on IG because I don't know how to find the private chat here.
it's a Wikipedia page. Hold on, let me send it to you, celebrity.
No, I'm looking it up. It's a page and it has all the information.
Yeah. So it has it broken down from the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010s, 2020. Well, 2020s is pending.
Wow. 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 Wow.
So
They got some,
listen,
it's got it's got even up to June of 2025.
yeah, but they're not gonna have him on there. But let me tell you what he did. He started talking about them because he visited them. And he said he was going to uncover some secrets that he found out when he went over there about what they're doing to the peas. I'm dead ass. He was changing his narrative. He was. You know how Candace is changing her narrative?
Yeah.
He was changing his narrative. Did you know that some people in the MAGA movement, they don't think Trump is MAGA enough? Did you know that?
Nope.
They don't think he's MAGA enough. And they starting to change, and he was starting to change. And he started talking about Epstein too. That stuff need to be released.
Yeah.
Now, remember that video I sent you of that lady said that she lived on the same street as Epstein? Did y'all
Mm-hmm.
see that video?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. Well, I remember that lady because remember I told you I went snooping over there one night and she was like, don't worry. She said, we get a lot of people over here all time of the night. Me and her started talking. And look, I told her me and her shared a laugh. And I said, nobody's ever going to believe that I talked to you. And she was like, yeah, I don't do interviews and stuff like that. I said, even if you wanted me to do it, I would not do it. And she was like, why? She said, it'll help what you're trying to do because she's a writer and she understands. I was like, she understands the journalism, the freelance part. And I said, no, because that's going to put me in a situation where I always have to watch my back. And she said, you're a smart man. That was the last thing I said. We talked for about 20 minutes. And let me tell you something. If she sat there and list all the names, it'll shut this country down, and I mean, a lot of other countries.
So Max, I'm
Oh,
seeing
I
online
believe
what you
that.
were saying. I'm seeing online what you were saying, and yes, he was touching on some other
Yeah,
things that,
but
yeah.
look, celebrity. He was warned
Uh-huh.
though. He was told. His people told him to stop doing it.
They did?
And look, check this out. They told him, look, please, look. See, they didn't care about his little debates and stuff. Let me tell you why people weren't mad about him with the debates. Because that was his thing, and he let people get off on him too. Like if you're able to get off on him, he let you talk. If you can get yours off, and because his thing was he'll get off on you. He'll let you talk first, but then he's gonna have the last say. But if your point is good, he will acknowledge it. Oh, damn, you had a good point or whatever, right? But he's quick with it. That was his niche. People were there to troll him and stuff like that. It wasn't never about no hate, like no, to kill him or nothing. But he started getting a beef with this one person that I'm not gonna name. Is this a straight up oligarch? He got into a
Mm.
beef with. He got into a beef with an oligarch. Okay. So he went above his pay grade. I honestly think that he had aspirations of running for office. Oh, and by the way, his wife, she was in a pageant, and guess who pageant it was? Trump's back in the day.
She was?
Yeah.
Oh, the rabbit hole goes deep.
The rabbit hole go deep. And I've been telling a lot of people about this man. I'm going to say this about him again. He's not stupid. And I'm going to say this another thing. Go watch Sammy the Bull interview on him. He said that he survived Atlantic City and we could not touch him. And they was like, well, why couldn't you touch him? He said he had off-duty CIA agents as his bodyguards. This man is well connected. Okay? He's like an oligarch. He was an oligarch here, and he was one of the oligarchs. But check this out. He don't like how I don't want to get into him because he got he got his own separate issues. We talking about Charlie Kirk. So Charlie, he was a millennial. Millennials, they got to understand that everything has been done already. Like us Generation X people. Well, Medea, do you step down? Oh, there she go. Listen, us Generation X, us up on the stage, we're Generation X. We're latchkey kids. We grew up a certain way. We know that we have to stay in our lane. We know that it's about respect. With them, they don't, it's not about that with them. And he don't realize you disrespect the oligarch, something might happen to you. And he started, did you see all that security Charlie had out there? He had a lot of security with him because he started getting threats. And I'm sorry it happened to him, but he was on a different type of beef now. His beef had elevated, if you know what I mean. You don't threaten to expose secrets of a people that have a wicked. Let me stop. But yeah,
Yeah, you don't.
but yeah, you know what I'm saying. No, and here's the thing,
Yeah.
Medea. Here's the thing, Medea.
Mhm.
Some of them watch me. Let me tell you why. The guy I used to work with, his family is them, and he was like, "Yo, they wouldn't never do nothing to you. They respect your honesty." But he said, "You also stay in your lane. You don't disrespect nobody." You know what I'm saying? And he told me, if you this is what he said, if you ever get over 100,000 subscribers, never talk about them. I said, I never will. Never will. And he said, bro, he said they won't even mess with you, man. You can talk about a lot of controversial stuff, but just leave their name out of it. And you'll be straight. And this is just the terrain we're on. I didn't build this game we're living in. I didn't build the rules. But every now and then, somebody will come along to change the rules a little bit. Now, could he been the guy? Possibly, but you see what happened to him. He had no chance of survival. That was an assassin that
They
came
made
and killed him.
sure. They made sure that he wasn't going to survive, though.
Yeah, they made sure that he wasn't never going to run his mouth again.
Mm-mm.
And guess what they did? Oftentimes they'll do it in public in front of everybody to send a message. Yeah, don't play with me,
Yeah.
man. That's what
That
time it is.
definitely that definitely sent a big, huge message. Like that echoed.
If they ever hear
That
this video,
echoed.
you know what they're gonna say? He kept it 100. This man is 100. This man is 100.
All right, you
This
guys, I
man
gotta
is
drop down, but I'll be in the chat and I'll see
all
you
right.
guys later. Have a good
All
day.
right,
Okay,
Flip.
bye.
All right, peace.
Peace. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's just like you said, we are key kids. I
right,
remember going home, and my mother didn't get home until like late.
right.
We actually had made dinner
Yep,
most
yeah.
nights. We would make dinner,
And you watched out for your
cooking
little
dinner and
brothers and
stuff.
sisters.
Well, especially when we came to America, we were definitely responsible for making sure that dinner was done.
And you watched out for your little brothers and sisters.
You know what I'm saying, Max?
Yep. Yeah, and you watched out for your little brothers and
Max, can you
sisters.
hear me? Chat, can you hear me? I don't know what happened to
Hold
Max.
on. Can y'all hear me?
Hold on, y'all. Let
Hold
me
on one
see
second.
here.
Remove. Hold.
Ah,
You can
oh,
hear
there you
me?
go.
You
Now
can
I
hear me?
can. Now I
Yeah,
can, yeah.
what I was saying was, and you watched out for your little brothers and sisters.
Yep.
Yep, it's always the oldest that did it, or the second most responsible that your mother left in charge. And that made us strong. That made us who we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take, that made us, we had to do what we had to do. I didn't even have a child seat. Did you?
I didn't even know what that was until I
Yeah.
came to America.
I
And the
didn't have a
other
child.
thing, look, Max,
Yeah.
be fair, Max. It came with a little bit of paranoia too, though.
Yeah.
Stranger danger, we definitely knew, like, you can't talk to me.
Right.
I'm still
Exactly.
that way. Like, if I don't really know you like that, like, who you
Right.
talking to?
Right. Hey, just that phrase you just used, I don't really know you like that. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You know who used that same phrase? Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. He
Oh,
somebody tried to come into the room he was in last year. He was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know him. I don't know him like that." You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He's Generation X. I don't know
Yep,
you like that. Like that. When we know what like that means, that
yep.
means we gotta get some more intel from you first.
Yeah, we gotta see how you moving and see who you be before we
Right.
just kick in with you. No,
Right.
mm-mm. That's stranger danger, man. But yeah,
So
it is there. You can see the difference between generations.
yeah, so you could see like he had a lot of courage. Like, I'm gonna change things. These older people, my the generation before me, they didn't know what they were doing, but we're gonna do this now. And he don't realize that them people are in control, man. You don't realize that it's a system in place already. You gotta respect. You just gotta know the game and just know how to play it. Just like YouTube, you gotta learn the game and know how to navigate.
Yeah, it's kind of like I think the generations after us are a little bit more I would say overzealous, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing. But our generation is like, we're not gonna waste the energy and time in doing all of that extra stuff. Now, when it's a call and we ready, but we're not gonna just go around basically upsetting the apple cart when pretty much nothing has changed under the sun, and we realize that, right?
Right,
But when it does, we TTG, we're trained to go.
right,
But in the newer generations, they feel it necessary, which again is not a bad thing, to be very vocal and very outspoken and in the open with these with their want or need for change or need for doing whatever it is they're fighting for or their cause. And then I come from an era as well as the area, you too, Max, where you move in silence and violence sometimes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. So
You got to.
yeah, they just don't have they have that they be moving without thinking about the whole picture.
Right. Like if I do this, it's a game of chess, not checkers. It's a game of chess. If I do
Yeah.
this, what's next?
Yeah, it's
And
always a game.
again, it's not necessarily a bad thing because I think the balance of it all is needed so
Right.
that if we do need to come together and join or lead a revolution, we'll have those people to play their different parts and positions
Right.
accordingly.
Right. There's a
But it's
balance,
just,
right? We need those type of
yeah,
thinking people.
we do. We definitely do. But sometimes if you OD on it, it could be a very serious issue and problem for you personally and your family.
Right.
But
But like for him though, he was making a lot of money. He also had a podcast.
right.
He made it big on YouTube, got his podcast going. He was chilling with Candace and a few other people. You know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't
Like,
know he had a podcast.
yeah, it's on YouTube. Just type in Charlie Kirk, you'll see it.
Okay. I gotta check
But
it out. I had no idea he had a podcast.
he was getting big numbers and stuff like that. But he, you know, I wouldn't say he got too big for his britches, but yeah, he probably did. You gotta stay in your lane.
I
You
thought he
gotta
was
stay in
just
your
in
lane.
the debate arena.
Yeah, he was, but that's what I was saying. Like they didn't care about all that. Yeah, stay in that lane. He started getting into a major lane that I believe he got himself marked. He got marked.
Could have been.
They marked him out.
It's
It's
a
unfortunate.
tragedy.
But remember this, Medea, you get over 100,000 subscribers,
Hmm.
you have to monitor what you say. We already do that now.
That's what I was gonna say. Like
Yeah,
I try my best
it's a good
to be
practice.
fair and
Mhm.
yeah, and state, my honest opinions.
Right.
Yes. You hear my granddaughter? I'm like a maid here.
Oh, yeah, she wants you to get, got to do different things.
Look,
How old is she?
Nana. She's 2.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Hmm.
Yep.
She calling me like, Nana, what you
Yeah.
doing? I'm getting her lunch ready.
You know the crazy thing is my friend daughter when she found me on YouTube, she was about like her daughter was around 8 years old, right? And then her
Oh
daughter,
wow.
I used to hear her daughter in the background. What is he talking about now? Talking about me because I was talking about like Umar. You know, guess what? That girl getting ready to graduate high school,
Oh wow.
and that girl getting ready to graduate high school,
And Dr. Umar still hasn't brought that
and we're
school
like we're
to.
like family now. We're like
But
family
look,
because she's known me since she was a little kid. Like she said he's always like bumping his gums at something. Like, because that's she remember I said I'm a gum bumper, right?
mhm.
Yep. And then she like nothing's changed. Like she's so used to it, she don't even comment on it no more. Like I don't know what he's talking about, but he it's something that he think is important.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But
So,
nah.
and the
But
crazy thing is, I'm not trying to throw shade on Umar because I think I like him. He's a comedian. Umar is
I
funny
like
as
him
hell.
too. I like him too, but he really needs to keep it real about this school.
Okay, but watch this. He's been barking about this school since he was 8 years old.
What?
Okay. That's how long it's been.
I didn't even realize it was that long.
Yeah, it's over 10 years. Over
Oh
10
wow.
years. Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
you know what the kids hate? Still no school, still no school. But see, I can't let him hear me say that because he get mad.
You'll
You know
be
what I'm
put
saying?
into the
So
book.
yeah, I'm not trying to get in the book of Negroes because I think he took me out. I think he took me because he watched from that Diddy trial stuff. Umar be
Mhm.
watching because he be repeating stuff I said. So he
He
watches
said,
different people just to keep his ear to the streets, you know, because
and
he's a vlogger too.
yeah, look, he called people. What do you call YouTubers? the YouTubian struggle
Right,
streamers.
right. The YouTubian struggle streamers.
Mhm.
Yeah, the YouTubian,
Yeah.
YouTubian. Look, you know who recently said that? Tisa Tells.
Really?
Yeah, I got something for her. So if I see her, the what is it, next Friday? I say,
You
hey,
know she
listen,
gonna be there.
she gonna be there, right?
Hmm.
You know what I'm gonna say? Hey, Tisa, I'm a YouTubian struggle stream. Would you like to go out for coffee? It's,
No.
it's on me. Ain't nobody got to know. She knows she's gonna laugh because I know her. Like me and her talk and stuff like that.
Hmm.
She only gonna laugh because she like they every all of them they know me there from going there every day.
Yeah.
And I guess one, you know what they said? Like, why is he grumpy? They call me grumpy. I'm like, I'm not grumpy. I'm like, we got to stand on this line. Like, I got back issues and we got to stand on this line. They just started laughing. Like, dude, you're so funny. Like, I'm like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I really got a back situation going on here. But we just shared rapport and stuff, and she's cool. She's real cool. But I'm gonna find a way to troll her though. I'm gonna find a way.
Well, everybody thinks that I'm always mad because I always have that uh New Yorker, Connecticut face on.
Yeah, well,
That face like, don't
you
talk to
grew up
me.
in Connecticut, right?
Mm-hmm.
You grew up in the tri-state.
Yep.
I mean, everybody got that face up here.
Right?
Yeah,
Is the
everybody.
crazy and
Yeah,
then look, it's crazy. Ain't it crazy like when you be like, hey, how you doing? They're like, hey, what's up, my man? How you doing? Da, da, da. You like it's a conversation. It's not what you expect.
yeah, I know. It's like that out here.
Hmm.
They start having a conversation. Like, I was case in point. I was getting I getting two new tires, and I said, hey, what's going on, man? I haven't seen it. Oh man, it's crazy out here, man. And I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
what's happening? He was like, bro, somebody tried to break in the shop last night. And then me and him got on that conversation. And because I used to go there back in the day before I moved to Virginia.
Hmm.
Um, and he was just catching me up on some.
Max, you're breaking up. Is it just me, chat? Or do you?
It's
Oh,
not
there
just
you go.
my plug fell out of the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Look, I started talking like bloop. Yeah,
But he was catching you up. It happened again. I'm trying to make sure it's not me because the other day when I was on this device,
Testing.
there you go.
Why I keep muting myself? That's crazy. Like I'm sitting here muting I'm putting myself on top, but you're right. We do have conversations like that. And it could be, hold up, no, that's not the microphone I want. All right, this is the microphone I want to use. Okay.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We just be having conversations. It don't happen all the time, but when it do, it can get intense. And yeah, New York is like that. Tri-state is like that, but it's a very unique place. Like I want to go out and vlog. It's starting to get cold now. I want to go to, over there in Liberty Park, Medea.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's gonna be you gonna stay up there in the winter months?
yeah, I'm gonna stay up here. I got to go
You
back
a
to
brave
Virginia to get some stuff done on my car, but
you a
I'll be up
brave
here.
man.
I'll be up here too. I know it's well, actually, it's not. Yeah, they do get more snow up here. I think what I might do
Hmm.
is when they start getting snow and it's really off the hook, I'll drive back for a few days, stuff like that.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Mhm. That's
yeah.
one of the main reasons I left Connecticut. I was like, I can't do this snow stuff no more. I was like, I just can't.
Yeah, if it's like that to where it's like they expecting a blizzard, I'm like, all right, let me see what the temperature is like down south. I
Let
take
me
a
go.
break, go down south.
hmm Mosey on down the road.
Yep.
But
Moseying down.
but it's a really good thing that you're up there though, because Luigi's coming up.
Right.
David is that's California.
Yeah. California.
Okay. I'm
I
sure to
believe.
be picked up by Law Crime and Court
Yeah.
TV.
They already talking about it. I think it's a state case. They already talking about it. I would love to go down in California. Somebody. I need to. Liz, her spot crowded. I was gonna ask Liz, could I chill out there? And actually, I might ask her to see if they want to make a few dollars to host me to stay down there.
Yeah, it might be workable. And if his trial, honestly, with the precision that the investigators are working on right now or doing right now and taking their time, this is going to be, it's not going to be a long trial.
Thanks, music. Yeah, I'm gonna feel better soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Umar is a
don't
straight comedian, Andrea. He don't turn into comedian status now.
hit the cash app. Hit the cash app.
Hey, Madad, you ever see that video where he down 4 smoothies?
Yes. Who
What
does
the
that?
like he did 4 of them.
Mm-mm.
He was like, I have to keep the Shango stick ready. Guy's a straight comedian. But Madea, I'm gonna get off here. Where can we find you at?
Um, Over at Medea or on the docket, I stream on the weekends now because Monday through Friday I'm here being a nana, but I try to either premiere or do a live. Oh, Nature Boy asked for a Floretta hearing recently, right?
Oh, I was getting ready to ask you if it was an update on him because I saw you on Sonetta.
Mm-hmm. There's a Floretta.
I met Sonetta at the trial.
I know, I remember that day.
Yeah.
I was
Sonetta
watching
cool.
you live.
Yeah, Sonetta cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was out there in front of the courthouse.
Yeah, he know me
But
from the
and
Nature Boy situation.
wasn't he asking you about his if he could bring his equipment in or something like that?
I mean, he already knew
Oh, okay.
that he didn't want to leave his stuff like outside, like in the car. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it would have because he had a lot of equipment. It was just he was cool just being where he was at.
Well, that's smart
Also,
because
Queen's Flip was out there too.
okay.
Yeah, he was out there with his camera crew. His son was doing the camera work,
The
and his
most
mother was
recent
vlogging. Mm.
the most recent update on him is they are releasing the transcripts. However, they're releasing it in volumes, and each volume appears to be a day of each day of the trial. Like so far, they've released of six, two volumes. So day one and day two have been released, and then I guess they're going to continue to work through getting the transcripts. I don't know why they're breaking it up that way, but they are.
Why did it take so long? Because he need
No,
those transcripts before he appeal.
well, DeKalb County since the vid um has had a backlog. The state of Georgia essentially has a some type of emergency judicial something um in the system which states like because of lack of administration, short staffing, all of the factors plus the vid has it's not just his case, it's multiple cases across the board in DeKalb, Fulton, all of the counties that are really delayed.
Mm.
So
Okay,
hmm
man.
I think that's one of the reasons why the federal court rejected his habeas corpus petition and directed him back to the state court because, they're going to check to see why it's taking so long. And they found the legislation that's covering them.
Okay. Okay.
Because I found it myself. It's on the, I want to say it's on the Georgia judicial site. It's on the, because I looked it up when it was taking so long. And I was like, yeah, it's supposed to be out. But there is something written in the Georgia legislative system that, kind of covers them for their delays due to the vid and due to staffing issues. So,
Yeah, that's been 5 years ago now.
it's a minute.
That means
It's
that
a
people are
minute.
still locked up waiting trial.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm
I think people need to get better lawyers and fight that. They can be able to get some relief. This
Well,
is not
he's
their fault.
serious.
It's not their fault.
He's serious about the what you call it, about the pro se. He's
That's
serious about that
interesting.
pro se.
You know
Very
what that
serious.
means? That means he knows somebody in jail in a law library that's actually
hmm
smart, and that's they have that in everywhere. They have the
Listen,
jailhouse
I'm.
lawyers.
You know what, Max? I'm gonna send you the last two motions that he submitted,
Oh, okay. I'm gonna
and
read them. Yeah.
you look. You already know my stance on the situation. Like I feel like he's where he's supposed to be at right
Yeah.
now
Mm,
at this moment in time.
mm,
But when I saw those motions, I was like, what? This
really?
man, yo, impressive. Max,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Did you
what?
know we have some of the best minds that's locked up?
Man, let me
We have
tell you
some
something.
let me tell you, they're gonna have to do something. We have a lot of geniuses locked up
Yo,
in prison.
I'm stuttering because it was so good. I'm serious. Because
Yeah.
we get excited about the law. People in the chat are probably like,
Oh, I
why
got it
she's so
now.
excited?
You know what, Medea? Maybe we got to come back at another time and like look at it together.
Yeah, we should. We
Yeah,
should.
just let me know when. I ain't doing anything. I'm just recovering, so just let me know. But let me
I
see.
will.
And next, did you hear about the kid in Mississippi? Yeah, I heard about that. And then was another guy too.
Colin Kaepernick is actually paying for an independent autopsy.
Good, good.
hmm He is.
Thank you, music lover. Yeah, I'm recovering.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that'll be interesting. So what basically Medea was happening is, yes, he is going pro se, but he has connected with somebody. Now, don't get me wrong, this person is not free now. When the jailhouse lawyers are not free, you got to pay them. Let me tell you this. Somebody told me a
What do you pay
jailhouse
them?
lawyer is making thousands, thousands. People in jail be getting released from jail with like $100,000
Okay,
in
but
their
how
account.
is he paying them?
Is you can pay by different things. You could do stamps. Well, rich people don't really use stamps anymore because of the digital age. So
hmm
you could do coffee, you could do tobacco, different, or you can just do straight Cash App.
Wow.
They got Cash App in there too.
He's whoever this um prison attorney is, prison lawyer, he has some really good. Wait till you. I'm not even gonna say nothing else. Wait till you read the motion.
Okay.
Wait till you, Max. You're gonna be blown away. Like a lot
Yeah.
of the things that they were supposed to be doing are actually being done.
Thank you, Sylvia Davis. Yeah, I'm trying to recover. I'm trying to recover quick as I can to go to this trial next week. If not, I'm gonna have to go get a shot in my back to make it. It's not,
But
but I
yeah,
just yeah.
I'll
Okay.
hit you on the back end with like Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, Friday evening. like after 5 p.m. Eastern, and
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday, I'm wide open. But I'm gonna send you the motions right now.
Okay. Yeah. Send emotions right now. I'm ready to read it now.
Yeah, I'm about to send them to you right now.
All right.
All right.
All right, Medea. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
All
Always a
right.
pleasure.
I'm
Later.
about to sign off too.
Later,
Guys,
chat. Have a great day.
you too. Let me see. I show speed is here at the YouTube offices. Oh, he out there where you at, Medea. He live in California somewhere. Yeah, Speed lives out there somewhere. He's probably just back home. Yeah, Speed is, man, he's not regular. What he's doing, he's not regular. But people just like him. You know, he did a little skit with, you know, the dude that do the alien face. He did a skit with him recently. He said, "Yo, how you feel about ET back in the day?" The dude was like, "You know what I'm saying? F him, man. You know what I'm saying?" He got new when he got in that movie. It was kind of hilarious how they did the skit. But yeah, it was kind of hilarious. But yeah, he's all over the place. He did something with Tom Brady. Yeah, Speed is all over, man. But guys, let me get out of here. I'll be back a little later. Yeah, I'll be back a little later. And thank you for joining today. I appreciate it. We did a little long live today. It was like long. I survived it. But all right, y'all. I will catch you on the next one. Thanks, Celebrity, for joining, Medea. All right, y'all.